Hi there, it's your second favorite DP right here, okay? No, that's Deadpool, you silly little Hufflepuff. Anyways, I'm gonna need you to shut up that pretty little mouth of yours and pay attention because the show's about to start, alright? And, I don't know about you, but I know who's my vote for sexiest ex-soldier turned pop culture show host. Alright, enough foreplay, let's get on with the show.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, one and all. Today's July 5th, 2022. And this is episode 102 of Pop Culture Warrior. It's the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture, so you don't have to. Like the little box says, I am CQ. I am your Pop Culture Warrior. And with me, as always, is a man who can suck a golf ball through a garden hose, the man in the bubble, the voice of the unpop culture, the legendary Mr. Radar. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? Just, looking for golf balls.
I know what you be doing on your weekends, man. I know what you be doing.
Hey, it's fine. It's a long weekend too.
Long weekend.
Hey, we got to do a test quick.
Okay.
We got 10 fingers and toes. Well, who had them before? You still have the proper amount of fingers from before the 4th of July, right?
Right. Yes. I have neither lost nor gained any appendages or fingers
there you go.
Since the 4th of July. How was your 4th of July, man?
Dude, it was great. It was really, really, really good. Really good. I love my family. It's a good time. Nice. What about you? What'd you do? Anything fun?
Low key. We kept it low key this year. I think I told you last year, I used to drive a couple states away, buy some of the real good stuff, and we put on a little show for the community. And some drunk idiots kind of ruined it last year because one of their displays fell over and shot a rocket into my leg, which kind of really put a damper on things. Luckily, no major damage. I had a little hole, a little bruise, a little bleeding, but all good. Missed the boys ever so barely. Took it to the inner thigh.
You went like explosive to the appendages. I don't know, dude. See, that shit needs to not happen.
Yeah. So this year, plus we're coming down from like a head cold, sinus stuff. I probably still sound a little congested. So this year I said, I'm gonna take it easy this year. But a neighbor of mine, holy hell, put on a display that would put most like small business. There's an amusement park not too far from here that puts on a little display. That's like 20 minutes. Very nice, whatever. And this dude put them to shame. Like, what a show. Like 25 minutes of just ba-boom, ba-boom, like just filling the sky. So yeah, it was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, Spanky was just saying they kept it low key too because it was too dry. I know that's a big problem with like a lot of people. It's way too dry to be lighting off fireworks and shit. Like out here, we've actually been real lucky. I live in the Black Hills, so it's like national forest, and so we can't shoot off fireworks. We're not supposed to.
Yeah.
In the fire district, but so yeah, some of those guys, man, I don't want to know what they do for a job, or I sell drugs or just run their Cabela's card way high and then fuck. I don't know what they do, but they get probably 10K worth of fireworks displays.
Yeah, baby, they be doing something. Something be going on.
My parents' house is over. It's on the top of a mountain, and they light the fireworks off on the other mountain over.
Okay.
And so you can sit on like in my parents' yard, and the fucking fireworks are like right above your face. You don't got like crank your neck to look up or nothing, whatever. It's pretty fuck cool, actually. So. So we do that, and then we had ribs. My dad smoked ribs. That was cool. Had ribs, corn on the cob, all the fixins. So it was a good time.
Num. Real quick, let's say hi to the people there. Who we got out there? Shane, what's up, buddy? Corporal, nobody, Carter in the house. God, love you. Thank you for coming out every time. Heath, what's up? Who's that? Rob, what's up in the chats? I'm watching on YouTube, man. God bless. Yes, if you're watching, let us know you're here. Say hi. Where you're watching from. Let us get to know you a little bit. I see Corey. What's up, Corey? How you doing out there? Josh McCoy in the building. Greg. God bless Greg. Love Greg. Love me some Greg. Jim Handy. You guys are funny. I'm just reading through the chats. You guys are funny. Pete, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Yeah, Richard Branco going on in here, man. Damn it. Yes. All you people. Much love. Nick Yost from the northeast of PA. God bless you, brother. And Jim, if you're watching from the toilet, hey, we appreciate it. Just, hey, remember, one flush for you, one flush for us. That's all I'm asking, man. Yep. And one for respect. You know what I mean? Thank you, guys.
If it's brown, flush it down.
Flush it down, man. Flush it down. Thank you guys for tuning in on another fun night. We got an awesome guest coming on tonight. Oh my God. I didn't believe it. I'll be honest. I didn't believe it. I didn't think it was gonna happen. Justin from Spokane, Washington. Hey, man. Justin with no E. Justine. One or the other. Just Justin.
Yeah.
Rob from his mom's basement. Right on, man. Hey, no shame in the game. No shame in it.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it. We got Adam Baldwin coming on tonight.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it. I was like, nah.
I didn't think it was going to be a thing, dude.
Didn't think
when you said words about it, I'm like, nah.
But he's joining us. He's going to be here live in the WTF Nation Radio studio in the Pop Culture Warrior bunker. He's going to be right here. Very excited. So, guys, Adam Baldwin from Full Metal Jacket, from Serenity, Firefly, from Chuck, from The Last Ship, from a bunch of other stuff. I think he has like 153 credits.
I know, it's crazy.
IMDb page. He's been doing this for since the 80s. So that's 40 some odd years.
We don't talk about the 80s.
we don't talk about the 80s. So he's gonna be on it. So do me a favor. If you guys got questions, throw them in there. I've got questions, and I can fill up the whole hour. You know me, I could talk. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you want to know about Adam's amazing career? What questions you have about? He was in Predator 2. The man was in Predator 2. I mean, he's in a bunch of shit. He's also, a lot of people might not know this, a very accomplished voice actor. He played Superman. He was the voice of Superman in Superman Doomsday and a couple other things. He was a Green Lantern. He was a Transformer. I think he was I had this written down somewhere, Dream Hack or something like that. I don't know. What a Dream Buster or something. And no, Heath, I'm not going to ask him if dinosaurs have boobs. All right. Every week you ask. I'm never going to ask that question. You know what? No, I should never say never.
Never say never.
Never
because
say
someday
never.
I'll be like, if we get like Chris Pratt on or somebody who's around a lot of dinosaurs,
Yes.
then maybe we gotta.
Hey, I promise you, on this I swear, if I ever interview Chris Pratt, I will ask, on behalf of Heath, I will ask, do you, sir, Chris Pratt, believe dinosaurs have boobs? There you go. That is my solemn swear, my vow to you, the Pop Culture Warrior audience, the WTF Nation faithful. That is my question. You guys are fucking awesome. Love it. What else? Real quick, just huge shout out. We got some Patreon supporters. I always got to, hey man, God bless you. I really, Nick, Rob, Keith, Greg, Travis, Pete, Leon, Mark, Bethany, and King. If you're not one of, I mean, like, y'all are, if not the best, the most, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because of them, some big things are coming. Big things are coming. If you want to get on the bandwagon, go join us patreon.com/popculturewarrior. We got some stuff. We're talking about behind the scenes. I got some exclusives and some things happening behind the scenes, and we're gonna make stuff happen. But very excited about that. But yeah, Adam Baldwin later. Very excited for that. Very, very, very excited. He's gonna jump on at 9. One last bit of housekeeping is very important, and this is where I need each and every one of you guys to show up. This is 100% reliant on you guys. So for anyone that's been here long enough knows, we're in our 3rd year, right? We're in our 3rd year here at Pop Culture Warrior. WCF Nation Radio has been around longer, but Pop Culture Warrior has been in its 3rd year. In its first 2 years, literally the year we launched and its follow-up year, we were nominated both times for Best in Entertainment Podcast Award. And that is 100% because of you guys. Because of you, the audience. Because this is literally to be nominated, to get into the contention, it is 100% based on the fan votes. So I can honestly, from the bottom of my heart, say that we are the 2-time Best in Entertainment Podcast Award nominees because of you, the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, voting is open. See, Greg voted last night. God bless him. Voting opened. It's open from July 1st through July 31st. And you need to go to podcastawards.com. You'll see a little thing that says register. It is free. It costs you nothing. They'll ask for an email and all that just because that's they're going to communicate with you. Once the voting period's over, like they erase all your data, so nothing is stored. This is why every year you have to register every year because they wipe the slates clean every year. You register. It takes 20 seconds at most. And then, yeah, you can vote for us. We're in 2 categories. We're in the People's Choice category, and we're in the Entertainment category. I don't really care. You don't even have to vote for, like, literally, you can just leave the rest of them blank. But as long as you get us in those 2, we'd appreciate it. And maybe this is the year we win. Maybe this is the year we win.
It'd be fucking cool.
I can tell you what raises our chances of winning, and here it is. This is the honest to God truth. When you vote, you get us to the nomination, right? That gets us to the top 10 out of hundreds, if not thousands, of applicants. So voting gets us into the top 10. We're nominated. Okay, once we get to the top 10, they have a panel of judges, pros, who will weigh in their feedback and they'll tally theirs. But they choose something like 1,000 random voters to become like a judge.
Mhm.
So when you register, there's like a tiny little checkbox that says like, I would like to be considered to be a judge. Please check that. And if you get the email, please follow up, because what they're going to do is they'll be like, hey, you've been selected to be a judge. So that vote is then ends up being the vote that could determine if we win or not. So I hate to harp on it, and I don't want to take up a lot of time, because that's not what the show's about.
That's literally what the show's about.
No, winning an award is not what the show's about, or voting is not what the show's about.
Kind of. It'd be really cool. Look, it'd be really cool if everyone could
It'd be
take
awesome,
a couple minutes
It'd be awesome.
to go try to get us, because it benefits all of us. It's not just for us.
Yeah.
It's for CQ. I mean, for all of them.
Well, no, here's the truth. Let me tell you something. You want to, okay, no BS. Let's pull back the curtain. Talking to you, the audience, talking to you, Radar.
Yep.
The level of guests that we have gotten on this show, like in year one, it was 90% people that I knew from throughout the industry, people that I knew from a friend of a friend of a friend. That was our first year of guests. In the second year, we were able to leverage, hey, we got nominated for Best in Entertainment. We got something here. And that gave us the next echelon of guests that got our foot in the door. And then when we got that second award, that got us to the next echelon, right? We're getting, look, we got Adam Baldwin coming on tonight. We've had Breck Bassinger from Stargirl. We've had Bradley Constant from Young Rock. We've had, my God, the list of people that we've had on this show, people from Legends of Tomorrow, Cheyenne Sobian, Robert Patterson, that's Robert Patrick, the different guy, Robert Patrick, the T-1000, you know what I mean? Peacemaker. And we've had a tremendous amount of success and luck in getting some of these guests. And the only reason is because you, the audience, shows up, right? They want to, and let me, again, a peek behind the curtain. This is credit to you guys, not me, to you guys. In the almost 3 years now we've been doing this, whenever I get a hold of someone and like, hey, you want to be on the show? And they're like, yeah, I want to do it. Like, oh, when do you do it? And we explain, oh, we do it 9 p.m. Eastern live. And they go, wow, you do the show live? Like, yeah, we do it live. And like, so many of them are like, well, I don't usually do interviews like late in the evening, right? This is their personal time. This is their family time. But the fact that we're doing it live in front of an audience, in front of the WTF Nation radio family, that's what motivates them to come on. In the 3 years we've been doing this, and my God, how many interviews have we done? Like 60 at this point, I would say, somewhere in that number.
That probably, yeah.
Only that I can think of.
69.
69. Only 3 times have they ever declined being live. And even those 3 times, it was because of work scheduling. It was because of a bunch of other reasons. They wanted to do live. They just couldn't. So to me, that speaks to the nature of the audience being as involved and being as integral to the product than, oh, it's CQ and, oh, it's WTF Nation Radio. It's more about the audience. It's more about you guys listening, being present, being live, asking questions, getting involved. They want to interact directly with you. I like to think of this as almost like when you go to a convention and they're there meeting the audience, like they're there meeting the people. Like, I feel like this show is that weird cross of like a live convention where, like, I don't know if you've ever been to a convention, but they do like these.
No, I don't get to go to conventions. That's your gig, not mine.
They'll do these talks, right? They'll be like, hey, we're gonna bring out the cast of Arrow, and they'll talk about the show, and then they'll do like a live Q&A. And I really feel like that's kind of what our show is. This is a virtual Q&A directly to people that are interested in this stuff and interested in these actors and their stories and the shows and stuff like that. So
yeah, exactly. And you get these guys too, they don't when they do like their press releases and stuff, they get like 10 minutes on a talk show to talk about nothing but the movie that's coming out right now.
Yep.
So they get to come on here and they get to talk to the our audience, and they get to talk to him, not me, because I face it, no one wants to talk to me in real life anyway.
Nobody likes you.
But I mean, so guests get to come on and they get to interact with you guys. They get to interact with our audience, and they get to do all these things that they wouldn't normally get a chance to do, and it makes it for a unique experience. And CQ does a ton of homework on everybody, so it comes out great.
Such a nerd.
He does nerd out. So
perfect example. I was some of the guests. We have such a good time. We link up on social media and we chat sometimes. So former guest Kevin Bigley, who is on Upload, which got another season. Awesome, very excited. I was shooting him some love. I was like, "Hey man, congrats on getting more of Upload. Can't wait to watch it, whatever." And I even said, I was like, "Hey man, we got to get you back on the show. We can talk more about it, whatever." And he says, like, it's things like this. Or in private, he says, "I would love to do the show again, anytime you ask the best questions." Like these are people that have a good time on the show. Lauren Tom, such an amazing. She came on. She's the voice of Dana in Batman Beyond and Amy on Futurama. She was Julie, Ross's love interest on Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, awesome person. Like has a full life doing like really big things, and took the time out to like, hey, congratulations CQ on 100 episodes of Pop Culture Warrior. Put that on Instagram. Like what an awesome thing. And then even messaged me and she's like, hey, I know you guys are up for the podcast. So is there a link that I can share with my followers so that they can vote? So she put that on social media.
Yep.
Like it's stuff like this that like, man, you're like, oh shit, man, this really,
they really like us.
They really like us. They like us. They really like us. Anyway, enough about that.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of stuff we can talk about. Tons. Not going to talk about Miss Marvel because I want to wait. I want to wait till next week.
Should we recap what's happened?
No. We're gonna move past that. We're gonna move past it next week. Trust me. Trust the system. I have taken us this far. Are you watching The Boys? You should be watching The Boys.
No, I'm watching Miss Marvel because Miss Marvel's good.
Miss Marvel is good. The Boys is,
and that's the one we talk about generally. I don't know.
I'm throwing a curveball at you this week.
I'm still gonna watch Miss Marvel. I like Miss Marvel.
Oh, please.
I'm gonna watch shit of it.
Scott, yes. Have you seen The Terminal List? Yes.
No, I have not seen that either.
Great.
I've seen Miss Marvel.
Radar watches like one show a week. So the fact that it's Miss Marvel.
I don't watch lots of shows.
The fact that it's Miss Marvel, we're grateful. We're grateful. We're a grateful nation. Thank you.
Isn't there something coming up this weekend?
Yeah. Thor.
Little thing coming up.
Little hammer thing. Little hammer time.
Yeah.
Do a little hammer time dance. It's Thor, Love and Thunder coming out, which I'll be watching Thursday night, and I'll be letting you guys know what I think of it.
Boogie's like Stranger Things, man. No. I watched like 2 episodes of Stranger Things when it first came out. I was like, nah, this is.
Yes, I Radar. I encourage you. I implore you.
You encourage me to do a lot.
Go watch The Boys. Go watch The Boys. You will like The Boys.
Why would I like The Boys?
Oh,
tell me about The Boys. Explain to me.
Do you like
the unpop culture?
Graphic violence?
Sometimes.
Do you like gratuitous nudity?
Depends on which side.
Both. Yeah.
It's a show about the boys being naked.
Sometimes
and violent.
It's like interspecies. I mean, there's lots of.
Okay, I don't know about nudity.
Don't worry. It's consensual. First of all, it's consensual. Don't make it weird.
Okay, well, you're talking to a guy from the Midwest, so when you start saying interspecies, just trying to figure out.
Before anyone gets on me, it's consensual. All right. She was asking for it.
Poor cow.
It was an octopus, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It was an octopus. Yes, so there's that. Okay, so skipping over like episodes and stuff.
No.
What radar? What?
You still haven't sold me on seeing this.
On The Boys?
Yes.
Okay, we've had this discussion before.
No, we haven't.
Yes,
What's
we have.
Just tell me. Give me the synopsis. What's it about? Give me the
Imagine-
Reader's Digest version.
Imagine, if you will. It's I mean, it's superheroes, right? It's the superhero genre.
All right.
But imagine if you took that and I don't want to say like made it real, or, if superheroes were,
If superheroes were naked and fucked octopuses,
that's part of it. If it was like a corporation, right? If superheroes were a brand, right? A corporation had literally put like a monopoly on the idea of superheroes. So to the mainstream public, they're heroes, but really it's about, like, it's the Disney mentality, right? It's merchandising. It's about making product. It's about making movies. It's about this. So all this. So you give a person real power. It's like if you gave like Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt actual superpowers, right? How you ever hear these stories about like what the Hollywood elite are really doing behind closed doors kind of thing? But now imagine that, but you actually gave them superpowers, right? It's like, who could stop them from doing whatever they wanted? Pretty much. Yes, like Greg says, there's a little episode called Herogasm. It's literally, it's the whole premise is superheroes, while public facing heroes, realistically behind closed doors, they're doing the most awful, horrible things you can imagine. And the boys are a group of disgruntled, normal people who like want to
fuck octopuses.
Put them in their place. No, the superheroes do that. The boys are the guys putting the superheroes in their place, kind of, keeping them in check, keeping them in line.
So they're just normal ass dudes that are setting up to superheroes.
Yes. Now, in the comics, they actually injected themselves so that they could be on par with the superheroes, so they could actually fight them. In the series, I think they did the right thing, which is they don't. It makes it much more intimidating, much more daunting. How would you fight Superman, right? You everyday guy, how would you literally fight Superman? So it's
I fight Superman.
Yes.
I throw an octopus at him, watch him fuck it.
I mean, he might, given the circumstances. You can't judge unless you watch the series. Yeah, superheroes would accidentally kill people through gross negligence. Yeah, and then get away with it because they're superheroes. Exactly.
Yeah, because what the fuck are you gonna do to them? They're superheroes.
Exactly.
They're gonna beat you up.
So, yes, hopefully I've sold you on The Boys. It's good. It's really, really good.
I don't know, dude.
It's really, really good. It is.
Because you don't want to talk about Miss Marvel.
I know. Here's the thing. I want to talk about Miss Marvel, but you need to trust me.
I'm trusting
when
you.
I say we will discuss it next week.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
It's whatever, dude.
There is a method to the madness.
Of course there is.
I will say, so something came up. We got to talk about this. This is something.
No, you don't got to talk about nothing.
Yes, we do. Shush. You shush.
Cool.
I'm talking. You know what? I can just do this. I'm talking to the people now. I'm talking to the people now. Radar's gone. I'm talking to the people directly. I'm kidding. Radar, come back. So recently, on the Howard Stern show, he was doing one of his shows, and
he was fucking an octopus.
No, did not go there.
It's Howard Stern, man. You don't know.
He was speaking on his daily radio show on Sirius XM. They go to a commercial break, but he's hot micing. For some reason, he doesn't mute like he's supposed to, and he can be overheard talking about a bunch of things, and this and this and that, and blah blah. And someone asks him, "Hey, what's your schedule looking like this summer?" And he literally says, while on mic, that he's going to do Dr. Doom. He says, and this is a quote, "They're going over the schedule with me. It's going to suck. I told you, I'm going to do Dr. Doom. That's the thing. Believe me, I'm fucking miserable about it. I even called Robert Downey Jr. so that I could ask him for acting techniques." So I can't imagine that Howard Stern is playing Doctor Doom. What I can only infer from this slip conversation is that he's involved in the project. Maybe he's, he has a scene in the movie. Maybe he's playing Howard Stern interviewing Doctor Doom. Who knows, right? Who knows how that works in the world? But all that does mean to me, if this isn't some marketing ploy or some prank that he's doing, if this is legit, then that means A, Doctor Doom is shooting this summer.
Yeah.
Howard Stern is involved in it. And we know it's not some what if cartoony kind of voiceover thing, because he mentioned calling Robert Downey and asking for acting techniques. So that implies that it's some type of live action, something that he's doing. And we know that the Fantastic Four, they're trying to reboot it. They're trying to find a new director because John Watts stepped down. We know that there was, so in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, the scene where Reed Richards comes in, right? He teleports into the Illuminati chamber. The creators said that technology that he uses, the teleportation, that's something they pulled straight from the comics, which is an invention of Doctor Doom. So it's kind of a little throwaway Easter egg that, yes, Doctor Doom does exist in this universe because they're literally using his tech. So, all that being said, what do you think about Howard Stern possibly somehow being involved in the Doctor Doom MCU movie?
Well, I'm gonna take a quote directly from Jim Handy.
Okay.
Quote: "He couldn't even play himself well in private parts."
I mean, here's
the thing, and this is where I think we get into methodology with our characters, right? Howard Stern is funny and entertaining as Howard Stern, right? He's great at that shock jock kind of genre stuff he does. He's really carved out a niche in his area, and people love him for it. So when you see him, he's got such a look to him and a presence to him. When you see him on screen, you're expecting to see, and you want to see as an audience, Howard Stern.
Sure.
You're not going to be able to see him as Doctor Doom or whatever character he's playing in that. It'd be the same as putting Robert Downey Jr., casting him as that. You're going to see him as Iron Man. You're not going to see him as Doctor Doom. Right.
Yeah.
So and I think that's where, when Jim Handy said that about private parts, he didn't do well in that because he's out of his realm. He's out of what he does. Right.
But hear me out. If, like I said, because I can't imagine they're asking Howard Stern to act as anything other than Howard Stern. The only thing that makes sense is, hey, you watch a movie and you're like, oh shit, they got fucking, I don't know, Regis Philbin to do a scene, and he's Regis Philbin interviewing somebody, or who is it that does it all the time? Not Larry David. I was gonna say Larry David. God, talk show guy, old as dirt. Larry King. Larry King.
Yes.
They would hire him to interview somebody, and it's like a fake interview, but it's for the movie because that character is being interviewed by Larry King. So I can only assume the only thing that makes sense to me is they're hiring Howard Stern to do a scene where he is Howard Stern interviewing, and if it's a Fantastic Four thing, he would be interviewing Johnny Storm, right? That's the cocky playboy kind of I'm hot shit. That's who he'd be interviewing.
Right.
Or if they're doing Doctor Doom as kind of like the billionaire playboy philanthropist, kind of like the Tony Stark, but evil.
Yep.
Maybe he's interviewing him in the Doctor Doom movie. I don't know. I can't imagine.
Like Jim said again, the only good step out was Bob Barker on Happy Gilmore. Really? But when you think about it seriously, I don't see how you're going to put Howard Stern in an environment other than being Howard Stern that he's going to be successful.
It's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing
which
that
is
makes sense.
Fine, and I wonder too if it's just a little bit of an Easter egg to kind of drum up some support for it. When is Doctor Doom slated to come out?
So it hasn't officially been announced.
Oh,
This doesn't exist. This is a non-property, right? We know a Fantastic Four movie is in the works. We know that.
okay.
We know that in the new Wakanda Forever, the new Black Panther movie, Namor, Prince Namor of Atlantis, is involved. And usually where Namor is involved, Doctor Doom is usually involved. They have a lot of history there. There's a lot of elements being introduced of the Fantastic Four mythos, but at no point has there ever been anything confirmed or acknowledged as like, hey, we're doing a Doctor Doom thing. Now, that's the other thing, is that maybe this has to do, and like, we don't know if this is a movie, we don't know if it's a Disney Plus series, we don't know anything, but I don't know. It's hard to say because Marvel is so secretive. They already figured out like anything we announce, people are going to be all over it, right? So at this point, I think they're trying not to announce certain things, right? Remember, they just announced Thunderbolts. After years of like, hey, we've been working on this in the background, they finally announced it.
Right.
I think there's a lot going on in the shadows that people don't know. Pookie says,
Well, I mean, there's always shit in the shadows we don't know about.
Yeah.
And we can theorize on it. We've talked about Thunderbolts or West Coast Avengers or whatever the fuck they were going to do for a while. Same with the Young Avengers. They're pretty obviously setting these things up.
Yeah. You know, we know we're going to see more of Elaine, Contesta Valentina, Caressa, Di Carello. Yeah, we're going to see a lot more of her. We know she's coming. You know,
right.
and all these Disney Plus shows are leading to something.
Right. But what they're still tying him back in the universe. Actually, I'm still really excited for Loki, second season of Loki to come.
Yeah, which is filming right now. I've seen some stuff with him and Owen Wilson running around like downtown London. So that's currently filming.
My wife hates it.
She hates Loki.
You know why my wife hates Loki? She loves Owen Wilson, but thinks he looks stupid in that outfit, in his costume for that.
Well, I mean, you can't hate it.
Seriously? Yeah, my wife. No, my wife. She won't even watch it. She's like, "This. He looks really bad. I don't like it."
You know, Tom Cruise's Doom. I could see that.
Oh, why do we want to keep bringing Tom Cruise into any of this?
You know,
why? Y'all leave him be.
Well, if you're gonna do Doom, and hear me out.
Okay.
The idea was Doom was handsome, and then somehow gets like scarred and everything. That's why he wears the metal mask and all this. Mm-hmm. I would rather, if you're gonna hire somebody who has the physicality, like tall, larger than like Doom, like standing Howard there. Stern? No. So Doom, when he's just standing there, he's an imposing figure. So I would rather somebody who's, you know, just scary looking. You know, fucking the guy that played, was it the Mountain on Game of Thrones? You don't need somebody with a ton of acting ability. You put him in the fucking helmet. You know.
Well, that's good because Howard Stern doesn't have any acting ability.
Howard Stern is not playing Dr. Doom. Never gonna happen. There's no way. Hey, you guys, damn you, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, see, Jim, right? Owen Wilson looks like Marsh after she got hit with the football. That's why my wife doesn't like the show. He looks all fucktardy. Richard Simmons. Yes.
All right, you guys, let's go.
No, okay, but generally, though, like, who would we put in? I mean, well, here's the thing too. With when you look at Marvel from Iron Man, because they gave Robert Downey Jr. a second chance at Hollywood with that. They really did. And then you look at the guys who they brought up. Chris Evans wasn't much of a. I mean, he was in some stuff, but he wasn't super big. Same with Chris Hemsworth. He was in some things, but he wasn't super big. You know what I mean? And Natalie Portman was bigger when she started. But I mean, for the most part, they've been taken. I'm not saying nobodies, but they're kind of taking
Sebastian Stan.
Not your giant. They're not taking your Tom Cruise. They're not taking your A-list actors. Right? They're not taking the top of the top of the top.
But you got to think too. And I think this is where they've done a good job. is you don't need to go A-lister for villains or heroes either.
Oh, they
But
gotta
you
do
need to go with somebody who's got talent.
right. They've been really good. Everybody who's had a major role in
Mhm,
these Marvel films, for the most part,
mhm.
has been pretty talented.
I look at Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger was a great get. He's not a
Yes.
AAA like now. He's much of a bigger actor
Mhm.
now. But when they got him, he was still top of but just pure acting talent. You look
Yes.
at what's his name? Was it James Spader who did the voice of Ultron and just a ton of talent.
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany, great
He's got
actor.
he's got a ton of talent and wasn't super big before he got,
Yeah,
well, I mean, he did the
yeah.
voice work, but I mean, but he still wasn't, a super huge A-list actor. But he's got tons of talent.
Yeah.
He really
I
does.
think if you get Karen Gillian when she played Nebula, not a household name before playing
Nope.
Nebula in the Guardians,
Nope.
and she's playing a villain / kind of now a good guy, but again, someone who's very talented, and like I really believe you don't need the AAA big name, high
No.
expensive. I think you
Well,
need
and this
somebody.
is and this is where we
Fuck it.
get back
Let's
to
get
that.
Adam Baldwin. Adam
Is
Baldwin
he here?
tonight. He's gonna. No, I'm just
Oh,
saying.
yeah. No, let's
We're
have
gonna
him
tell
do it.
Adam
Yeah.
Baldwin you are now playing Doctor Doom.
He
In the
actually
next,
he fits the bill of
right.
everything we just
He's
described.
tall. He's big.
He is
Tall
tall.
dude. Just get him to pack on some muscle. Put some padding in the suit, and I think he could be intimidating.
And I'm not even trying to talk shit because when did Full Metal Jacket came out? What, like 84?
88,
88?
somewhere in there.
So
87.
like I was 8 years old when that came out.
Mhm.
Okay. He was obviously an adult.
Yeah,
Where
he
is
was
IMDb
20,
at? How old is
23,
he?
23 when he was in Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
I've
Could
done the
you-
research.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, it'd be tough. I wouldn't want to hit the gym too hard at his age.
Well, we'll
I'm
pad some things.
sure he's still in a lot
He's in
better
great
shape than my fat
He
ass
was just
is.
in the last ship. He
Mhm.
was in phenomenal shape for the last ship.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, as far as going in and packing on like Thor weight or something, you know what I mean?
I mean you wouldn't
That'd
put
be
a guy
tough.
through that. No,
If he could do that, at his age, I would be very impressed. I'm sure he's in phenomenal shape. He has to be. Everything that I've seen him, and he's not like he's fucking.
No, he's no slouch.
He's
an active
Ray
gent.
Bar, but
He's an active
yeah.
gent.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna start the petition at hashtag Adam Baldwin for Doom. Adam Baldwin Doom. Oh, this can go bad real quick.
Hold on, I need IMDb.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna run it by Mr. Baldwin tonight. Not to be confused with the other Baldwins. Adam Baldwin's not part of it. Apparently,
How many Baldwins are there?
there are many, but
Yes.
he's not part of the clan. He's not part of the Alec, Billy, Bobby, Butcher.
He's
Baldwins.
6'4".
He's 6'4". Big dude.
Born in 62. So
Yeah.
he is what?
60?
60 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he could do it.
He could. If anybody could, he could.
Mm-hmm.
God,
This Baldwin knows how to use a weapon. That is true. Wow. We went there.
Wow, we need to not though. We should probably not. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
We won't go down that hole. But needless to say, I'm gonna run it by him, man. I'm gonna ask Adam Baldwin. Like,
But
you
you
want to
know
play
what,
Dr. Doom? We're fan casting him.
Yeah, because we could fucking have
I'll set some things up. I'll get him some interviews. Anyway, so there's that.
This is a good question from Pookie. Was Doom really a villain?
I mean, yeah.
Or was he kind of more of an anti-hero?
No. Now,
I mean,
I think every villain at some point has towed the line of like, I'm an anti-hero. But Doom, quintessentially, that's like saying the Green Goblin. Like, sometimes he plays anti-hero.
Goblin?
Yeah, the Green Goblin. Sometimes he's like, oh, I'm on the side of good. But Doom is a bad guy. Terry Crews as Doom, you know what?
I don't hate that.
I don't not, but you have to change, and it's not because of the black thing. You'd have to change because the whole point of Doom is that he's of like, he's like Lithuanian, that European, you know what I mean? So like, there's a whole backstory. He's a count, Victor von Doom. I mean, it could work. I mean, you have to make
You
some.
can make it work, dude.
You have to make some changes, take some liberties with the backstory.
Uh,
Darth Vader, fuck, Darth Vader's a villain. What is wrong with you
the
people?
point, Terry Crews though, like he's just, like you said, he has his accent. He's no longer handsome, and Terry Crews is just such a handsome man.
Such a beautiful man.
He's such a beautiful.
He's
I don't.
one milk dud I'd like to take a bite out of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you heard it here first, people.
You heard it here first.
But generally, it wouldn't be a horrible casting.
No.
Who else would it?
So okay,
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell is no comedic actors as Victor Von Doom. I'm sorry, no. Jim Carrey as Victor Von Doom.
Pete Davidson.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
He's in like everything anymore. Anyway.
There's another story I want to touch on too. I want to touch on this one. I found this interesting.
Oh.
So, Lena Headey, who famous from Game of Thrones, she was, Cersei, the evil queen. She's being sued by her former United Kingdom-based agency for $1.5 million over various unpaid commission fees.
Oh.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. These fees include Thor Love and Thunder. And you want to go, well, wait a minute. Is she even in Thor Love and Thunder? No, she's not. But here's why it's interesting. Apparently, she did film scenes. She was given a role, film scenes. Those scenes ended up getting cut. So she is not in the thing. They never even confirmed her in there. They never even confirmed her as a character. But she did in fact shoot scenes, and she was in fact cut from the film. As I was doing my digging, I found she wasn't the only major actor to be cut from the film.
Really?
One of her Game of Thrones co-star, Peter Dinklage, was supposed to be in Thor Love and Thunder. He was cut from the film. Jeff Goldblum was supposed to be in Thor Love and Thunder. Mm-hmm. He was cut from the film. These are people that they shot scenes specifically with Christian Bale. Christian Bale said, I shot scenes with these people, but it didn't make the movie.
Huh.
Now,
that's weird.
I'm not surprised with Peter Dinklage and Jeff Goldblum. Remember, Peter Dinklage was the giant elf in Endgame.
The metal
he created the Stormbreaker. So that makes sense that he would be in a Thor follow-up. He had work with Thor. And Jeff Goldblum was in Ragnarok.
Yep.
He was the overseer of Battleworld.
Mm-hmm. I wonder why they would cut those guys.
Maybe
just for time. Too
bloated. They didn't add anything to the film.
I mean, let's be honest. Marvel doesn't give a shit about how long their movies run anymore. Fucking movies 7 hours long. They don't give a shit.
My theory is because they were acting with Christian Bale, because he said he had scenes with them. He's playing the God Butcher.
Yeah,
he's playing the killer. Yeah. So maybe they film stuff where he kills them.
They don't want him dead yet or something.
And they either don't want him dead yet, or maybe it was just it's too we see him kill enough. We don't these are just extremous extra kills.
And they're not really
need.
Gods anyway. They're just dudes.
They're just dudes. But I'm curious about Lena Headey's role, because it's been undisclosed. Nobody knows what she was playing or who she was playing.
One who was cut anyway.
But she was cut anyway. But it does bring an interesting question of if the whole them suing her angle, it was weird. Because here's her rebuttal on these claims is that she had never signed a contract with these people. She claimed that her partnership with the main guy who's suing her was no more than a verbal agreement. Okay. She also pushed back that the Thor Love and Thunder, they shouldn't get a commission because that was presented straight to her from Taika Waititi himself. So it never went through her representation. So they shouldn't get any pay for it. Two of the other things that she's being sued for smaller roles. One, she said she already had paid them, $22,000 out of her $300,000 earnings for that role. So that is without saying. and that the other thing, she's going to be in that movie 9 Bullets, which looks amazing, by the way. She's going to be in that, and that was negotiated without the assistance of her agency. So she's like, "Why should I pay you?"
Right. Yeah. If you're
you
not
had
doing shit
nothing
for me,
to
the whole point
do.
of having an agency is to you get me roles.
Exactly.
You're not doing that.
Yeah. So I guess their claim is that, well, if you're signed with us, whatever work you do, we get a part of. So I guess it's going to have to go to contractual, like, what does the contract actually say? And she says she never actually signed anything. So good luck. Good luck with that. What else we got? Man, it's already almost 9:00. Jesus Christ. Time's flying by. One other movie news. So we all like Cobra Kai, right? It's a pretty good show. You haven't, god damn, man.
I watched like 2 of them, dude.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm telling you, here's the thing. Okay, stop. Don't even fucking start with me, because here's what I do. I watch 2 episodes. All these fucking shows. I haven't done The Boys yet, in all fairness.
Yeah.
But I give them 2 shots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I watched 2 episodes of Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
Thought they were bullshit. Not gonna watch it.
Okay, fair enough. You're
Stranger
allowed.
Things is the same thing. Watch first 2 episodes. Thought it was dumb.
You're allowed.
Didn't watch it.
You are allowed. You're allowed for sure.
If you like, I am not obligated to watch any show. They have to make it good, and they have to make it good enough where I want to keep watching it. That's on them. They won't want to fucking do that. They want to make garbage programs and expect us to watch them because I keep forcing down my fucking throat. Because every time I get on Face or fucking Netflix, watch Stranger Things. Fuck your Stranger Things. Make it good. Sorry, radar rant. But
yeah.
anyway, back to the story. So yeah, Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai. Talk about it.
Sorry.
So next week on our program, we're having a guest from Cobra Kai.
So we have the writers of Cobra Kai coming on next week.
I'll tell them the same thing. Bring them on. I'll tell them the same thing. Make it good. Make it so I want to watch it.
Yes. The only tie-in to Cobra Kai is because the next thing I'm going to talk about is from the creators of Cobra Kai. So for anybody who grew up in the 90s playing video games, Duke Nukem is a name you'd be very familiar with. There is a Duke Nukem movie in the works from the Cobra Kai creators. It is, I don't understand like how you're going to take that and make a movie out of it, especially in today's PC culture. So the foul-mouthed badass made a name for himself in the 90s with shoot-'em-ups that rivaled the likes of Doom. He's largely a relic of the 90s. There's a lot. There's a lot. Greg, they didn't do a Duke Nukem movie. They've done a bunch of like reboot video games.
Yeah.
But
okay. Well, it sounds like it's gonna be garbage.
I mean, here's the thing.
Keep going.
Video game movies, for whatever reason, are so hard to make. I don't necessarily understand it because I feel like it's laid out in front of you. It's so simple, but then they try to like, I don't know. I'm struggling to think of a really, maybe you guys in the audience, what's a really good video game based movie? Like Sonic the Hedgehog, they did a decent job with, but I mean that's
the one
that's
thing
pretty
I will
far
say
from
about
the source
that,
material.
When they realized it sucked, they went back and like redid the whole
Well,
thing.
that was the look of it. That was the look of it.
But one thing I will give them that, and that is the only reason I watched Sonic 2.
Yeah. They,
because they went above, in my opinion,
for the audience,
right?
yeah.
They went above and beyond to make it good, to make it something that I would appreciate.
Yeah.
I
totally
I appreciated that from them, so I've given them money a few times.
So Heath, Street Fighter. I will say, with regards to Street Fighter the movie, the Jean-Claude Van Damme led Street Fighter the movie, it has a special place in my heart. I did love it as a child, how ridiculously awesome it was, but it's not a good movie.
No.
It's not a good movie at all. It has a good play. But no, it's not a good game. And okay, who was the original Street Fighter? Yeah, you know what? Props to the Street. Assassin's Creed the movie. I couldn't even finish it. I couldn't even finish it. It was not good in my opinion. Greg says Super Mario Brother, dude,
No.
that movie. And I love John Leguizamo and Bob Haskins who played Mario. I love those
And Carol
actors.
Baskins. What?
No, I love those actors. That was a horrible movie, and almost
It really
ruined.
was.
It almost set video games back. Like the movie was so bad, it almost set the video game industry back.
Yeah, and I don't know how you could do that at that time either.
Yeah, they were already bad. Lego Batman, which technically started as a game that became, I mean, I guess, but it's really more of a spin-off of the Lego movie, which is based off the toy. So,
And really, arguably the best Batman movie.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Very possible.
I actually, you know what? As corny and stupid as it is, I kind of like Lego Batman.
I think it's a fun movie. I think Will Arnett does a great job. He really has fun with that role.
It's fun, but it is kind of terrible.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a video game movie.
Okay.
That was like, okay, this has a legit reason for being, and I can't for the life of me. You know what we should do next week? I'm gonna bring up like the top 10 video game movies based on video games. With Warcraft, Warcraft had a lot of expectation to it, and that was bad. Resident Evil, the first one, the first Mila Jovovich Resident Evil, I'll give you, wasn't a bad movie, but that was really far from the source material. Tomb Raider, you know what?
The original one or the last one?
I think he's being the original one.
The first one, actually, I'll give the first. I don't know.
It wasn't a bad. Well, okay, it's
great.
fair. It's fair that those weren't bad movies by far, but the question then becomes like, how far from the source material can you get before it's like it's not even based on the video game anymore?
Yeah, it's just kind of based. Lara Croft is Lara Croft from the same two properties, but the first one was kind of there's definitely feelings of the game.
It was close
in the movie.
It was close. That would be up there. Mortal Kombat. Who said Mortal Kombat? Nick said Mortal Kombat. The first one, because that second one was hot garbage. But the first one, I mean, I feel like I love it. It's a place in my heart of like Mortal Kombat. Like that was awesome. But you can't even say it was a good movie though. Like you can't.
No.
I just think back to the scene of them in the little steel cage doing the tunnels underground. Stupid shit.
Just garbage.
Or him fighting a lizard. It's like it's reptile fighting like a CGI lizard. Yeah,
it was fucking junk, dude.
Yeah,
but part of that, we talk about that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Part of that has to do with bad writing and trying to capitalize on a property.
I don't, right? Maybe not even bad writing, but people not understanding the source material.
Right. Well, like I said, they're just, this fucking game is huge. Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers. Let's make a movie about it. These kids love this game. And they're old people, they're old executives, and they don't know video games. They don't know any of it. So they get some crap writers together. They try to throw some junk together. Same with Morbius. It's the same concept. Yeah. Somebody's like, we can make money off this. This stuff's hot right now. It's so hot right now. We can make all the monies. And then they make a little bit of money off it. They don't lose money. So they're like, let's do it again.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And that's, it doesn't matter what source material you use. It could be a book.
It
weird. Could be whatever.
I feel like if some exec was really smart out there and they're like, how can we make $1 million off this stuff? You could go to one of these like Street Fighter tournaments, like the big ones that hundreds of thousands of kids come and they play in the game. Like you take a writer and just like poll people, like, what do you think would be in a Street Fighter movie? And like, what stuff would be good? And you could just take notes from people that know the source material.
Whoa. We don't want to like start doing research and shit.
You know, it's like,
You gotta strike while the iron's hot.
Getting too close to a good idea.
There are kids playing. I'm actually surprised there's not a fucking Fortnite movie. Honestly.
Shh, don't whisper shit like that into existence. You put it out into the ether, and it happens.
I just got an alert on my phone. Google is
Fortnite coming to theaters soon.
Yep. Probably. but what I'm saying is, if it's something like that, like Fortnite, for example.
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers back in the day, or a lot of those video games movies from like the 90s. Okay. Late 90s, early 2000s. Okay. And even early 90s. They're all through the 90s were speckled with that bullshit. But I think a lot of that stuff was they struck while the iron was hot, man, and they needed to get that movie out like that. They're not taking the time. They're not taking the time to research. They're not taking the time to see if it's going to be any good. They're just like, fuck it. And they made a little bit of money off it. But part of it was limited to 1990s technology.
Sure.
We look at like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff. Like, I loved that movie when I was 10, 12, 14 years old.
I still say the first one holds up.
But what I'm saying is you're limited by the CGI of the time.
Right, but good.
You're
like
limited
you said,
by the
good
costume
writing
designers.
is good writing.
Yeah, ish. But I mean, when you look at it and like Splinter's like, and it's like all fucking patches of hair, like white glued to a cardboard box. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
There was some production value that was lacking there.
Yeah.
And they would put it out to make money. And they do the same thing with because they were adapting it from a cartoon, and they were trying to get a live action full length feature film that made money, and they did make money, and it wasn't horrible. The writing was there, but when you start looking at this stuff, like you have to remember, we are judging it through the lens of how good Thor: Love and Thunder is going to be coming out in a week or in a couple days. So we come to expect a certain level of CGI. We've come to expect a certain level of writing and talent in these shows. And it just wasn't there in the 90s. They didn't put the money into them. They didn't, so we were like, it's fuck garbage. But
I mean, again, I disagree only in the sense that, yes, they were limited by the technology and things, but you don't need Back to the Future. Was made in what, 1984, 85? And that movie made you believe cars could fly, hoverboards could hover, and you could time travel. And, even with the limits of technology, they still made it work.
Right. But look at the budget that they had compared to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, sure.
Honestly, even Full Metal Jacket. Look at the budget they had. Full Metal Jacket didn't have hardly shit for a budget compared to a. I'm just saying, like, if you got the budget and you had the time, even for the 80s, and people are like, oh, all these films, Jurassic Park, that was phenomenal. That was huge for the Titanic.
Yeah.
They poured the best of the best of the best in a Titanic, and same with Jurassic Park, and all of the things that came with that. Jurassic Park came out early 90s, 93, something like that,
right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So I mean, but you had big name actors. You had the best CGI that money could buy at the time. You had all these things going for Jurassic Park that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles didn't have.
Yeah.
They had to rely on the writing. They had to rely on the acting, and they had to rely on the cardboard box rat to they got the pizza,
Good storytelling is good storytelling. That's
exactly.
If you make it compelling, and you make it, good, I think, we can do something. All right, guys, we are going to toss to a short break. When we come back, we're going to have Mr. Adam Baldwin. Guys, we'll toss it, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Shuts.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, right? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, what do you think because the show's going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
looking up and fading out. Cirrus shapes I found blow me away. Van Allen right around, pushing through. Skin is brown. Nature has us trapped in fear, so I get lost in sound. I
voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Pop Culture Warrior. I know what you guys are here for. You're not here for me, so we're going to jump right into it. My guest tonight is an absolute legend of screens big and small. He became a household name after appearing as Animal Mother in Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. He's gone on to play some very iconic roles, Major Mitchell in Independence Day, and Jane Cobb in Serenity and Firefly, John Casey in Chuck, Mike Slattery on The Last Ship, and for those not in the know, he's also a prolific voice actor. You know, he's voiced the likes of Superman and Green Lantern and a number of other characters in both TV and video games. Most recently, he played Coach Allen in American Underdog. Everyone, please give a huge, mega huge warm welcome to our guest tonight, a man who will continue to be successful as long as someone's throwing hand grenades at him. The man, the myth, the legend. Everybody, give it up for Mr. Adam Baldwin. Sir. Woo! Mike. People are excited. Let me tell you something. Our chats, our comments, our social media has been going nuts knowing that you were going to be on the show tonight. So thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. That's a lot to live up to. I hope I don't disappoint you or your audience.
Never.
Anyway, I was looking at your bio that I got. You're gonna go over my bio, but I'm gonna go over yours. You were shot 5 times and you died twice, and you served as airborne combat wounded veteran. And I just want to say thank you for your service. Thank you to all those out there that served our beautiful, amazing country. I couldn't do what I do without you.
Oh, God bless, man. Thank you very much. It means the world to me that you would say that. Almost all of our audience out there is military, active, veterans, all that, supporters. So the first question I always ask, regardless of, if we have a comedian, actor, director, whoever, the first question I always ask is, what is your personal connection to the military? Is it, whether you served, a family member, a friend, your dog, whatever? We all have some connection. What's your connection?
I didn't have the privilege of serving. I came of age in 1980, and I'd done a movie called My Bodyguard, and my path was sort of in that direction. My father, he served in the Naval Air Corps in World War II. He was training to be a fighter pilot or a bomber for the final wave into Japan, and the bomb was dropped, so he didn't get to go, but he served his 2 years. He went to CU Boulder on the GI Bill, and then he traveled the world. He ended up in Kenya in the mid-50s. He ended up being the only American to fight in the Mau Mau War, and there's some pretty brutal stories. So I always respected him for his wanderlust and his honor, courage, and commitment and duty to America. He was a tough guy, and I think growing up around him and his firearms, he would take us to the range, and I had camp where we shot little 22 target rifles. So I became very comfortable with firearms at a young age, and I again haven't had a chance to serve. I kind of regret not going to the Marines after Full Metal Jacket, but Lee Ermey said, "You never make it in my corps." so I don't know.
No.
Anyway, like I said, I get to do what I do because you guys are standing on the wall.
We appreciate that. No, that not everyone serves, and that not knocking anyone. I think it is actors like yourself who portray the military in the best light possible to show the truths, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, the heroic, all of that, and allow the civilian population to get a peek behind the curtain, to see what it's really like, to experience it in a certain way. So you're doing us a service by putting out there, good or bad, by putting that out there, Well,
my goal as an actor is to portray the humanity of the character as best I can, and try to do it with some authenticity. So I was blessed to have a technical advisor in Lee Ermey, pointing me the way. Although he was a little focused on, he was one of my dear friends, and rest in peace, Gunny. But he was a little focused on stealing the role of Gunny Hartman from the other guy. So I look back on my first couple of scenes when I show up and meet Joker, and you know, that booger hook on the bank switch bugs me every freaking time. Oh.
Yeah.
but you know, they weren't there saying don't do that.
Little things that stand out.
Yeah, I've since learned a little trigger discipline, muzzle management, and all that. I don't sweep my buddies anymore. Never would. Well, maybe I did then, but the gun was unloaded. I promise.
Right. You know, Vietnam. It was a different time. It was a different time in Nam. You know, things were different.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were a little hazy then. Agent Orange was in my bloodstream. I couldn't. No, that's disrespectful. But hey, look, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I learned through osmosis over time, and I got better at it. So that was my my blessing and my curse.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So here in the show, you know, before we dive into the back catalog and the career and everything, which I mean, again, with you, it's impressive. I do like to get to know the person behind the scenes, behind the cameras a little bit better. So you know, we're all about pop culture and nerddom and geekdom and all these things. So where are your passions at? What are you nerdy about? You know, be it history or stats or music, or where's your geek flag fly?
Well, I guess, you know, you younger generation folks would call it dad rock. You know, I'm into Led Zeppelin and the Who and the Kinks and all that stuff, Zappa and you know, Beach Boys, you know, rock and roll from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So that's pretty near and dear to my heart. I guess now I like to go to the range. I'm not really as much of a gunsmith or gun nerd as I'd like to be, but I'm a pretty good shot. But it is a perishable skill, like golf. I play a little golf. I'm a little nerdy about that. Pretty good at it. So I try to stay focused when I'm on the golf course and do that. But you know, I'm old now. I'm 60 years old, so I'm on a 25-year glide path at this point. Just gonna have a good time. Raise 3 kids. Have a beautiful wife. Been married since 1988, and that's kind of like, you know, I like bicycles. I like mountain biking. Although my knee doesn't let me do it so much. I remember the first time I got injured working on a show. I was carrying a guy down a staircase to get out of an exploding building, and around about take 5, the knee kind of went, oh, damn, I'm older now. You know, stay in shape, keep stretching, drink your water, but it's gonna catch up to you eventually.
Yeah, I hear you're into the tequila as well, right? Just as a sampling, a little bit.
I like a good tequila. I think it's the cleanest of the spirits. Beer just makes you bloaty and farty, and you know, heavier. But I like a little nip now and again of the good stuff. Don't drink cheap stuff if you're gonna drink. But I've had a pretty good handle on it my whole life. I have some friends that call me a normie. Jealous? No.
Give us a good recommendation. What's something if I'm gonna dabble in the tequilas? Where do I go?
If you're gonna drink it smooth and neat, I would go with like a Chinaco, a Reposado, or Añejo. Or if you're gonna mix it, there's a really good organic tequila. Get the Blanco Dolce Vita. It's an organic tequila, and you mix that. You don't want to mix Reposado or the Añejos with your margarita mix because it's too oaky and just it's distracting. Oh man. Cheers.
Yeah,
where's my?
We're gonna get into it tonight. We're gonna loosen you up.
Also, you know, the Rock has a really good tequila called Terramana. That's pretty good. And you can get that at Vaughn's with your Vaughn's card for only about $28, $27.
There you
so
go.
That's a good deal.
There you go. Good plug. Good plug for the Rock's tequila. And we got a lot of people watching live. Guys, if you have questions for the amazing Adam Baldwin, please put them in the chats. I will read them as they fit. So please let them know. Let them know you're here. Say hi and ask your questions away. Until then, what are there any? You have the moment. Are there any charities, nonprofits that you're really a big supporter of? You want to put a spotlight on? You want to give anyone a shout out?
Well, I've had some participation with Folds of Honor. I went to their Patriot Cup there in outside Oklahoma. I played there a couple of years. That's a great charity. The Gary Sinise Foundation, wonderful. The Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation. These are organizations that help take care of the families of the fallen, and it's humbling. I wish I could do more of it, but I'm just this lonely hermit out here in California these days. I get out there once in a while, but I think those three. If you're going to be donating to charities, those three, you couldn't beat them.
Okay, I won't argue with you. I think you participated in Ride to Recovery too, a bike riding organization that has to do with wounded veterans.
We did a few rides through Texas, and we went to Normandy. We went to the American Cemetery there in Normandy. 300-400 miles with a peloton full of soldiers and supporters and Marines. And it's amazing to see the esprit de corps that builds up over a week. It's a week ride generally. And in the beginning, there are guys that can barely even ride a bike, or they're on a hand bike, and all get pushed up the hill. By the end of the week, it's really like a miraculous transformation to see guys that have come with traumatic brain injuries. They've lost limbs, they have prosthetics, and they figure out a way to clip in, hang onto the handlebars, and just ride together. And I was again very humbled to be a part of that. I wish that continued. I think that organization has folded up since then, but there are others that do that sort of thing.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's why we talk about it, because people need to be aware of it and go out and help and support. So those things don't happen,
Well, the thing is that I've come to appreciate is that you guys are athletes. You have to be fit, and when you get hurt, it's hard to maintain that, and that can cause all kinds of things like depression and pain. Obviously, you need to manage all those things, but as long as you keep fighting through and overcome that, there's a beautiful life on the other side. You just have to keep going. I think it was Winston Churchill that said during World War II, "When going through hell, keep going."
Beautiful, man. I'm gonna clip that and use that whenever I'm down, man. I'm gonna use that. Adam told me to keep going. That's awesome. You were
well. You got to remember. We got to remember. God didn't promise us a trouble-free life.
Good words. So tell me. So I did my research. I did my homework. I know you were born in Winnetka, Illinois. And I couldn't find a lot about early life for Adam Baldwin. What was it like growing up? Were you the athlete? Were you the jokester? Where'd you fall into?
It's all been expunged, brother. The record has been secreted.
Fair enough.
In a mayonnaise jar. No, I was a young hockey player when I was in grade school, and I was a really good athlete. Played baseball and soccer and hockey. I grew up, like I said, outside Chicago. But my parents divorced when I was 11, 12 years old, which is not a good age, right? Going into puberty is a tough age. So I was sort of thrown in the gap, and my buddies who I was competing with on the rink, their folks sent them away to hockey camp for a couple of summers. They got better, and I sort of stagnated, hanging around in Winnetka, Wilmette, North Shore, Chicago, playing frisbee and smoking weed, whatever. It's just I got off track, so I couldn't make the high school hockey team. I played in the intramural and the Park District League, so I kept that going. Where do you go if you don't have a social group? Well, you either become back then. This is gosh, that would have been 76, 77. What do? You either become a stoner or you go into the drama department. So I
Sometimes
ended up
both.
in the drama department. Well, there, I don't know. It was 1976, 78, 78, brother. Uh, it was really a more innocent time back then. I am not condoning any of these behaviors. I was a lost kid, but plays and choir and pretty girls sort of kept me focused. we just tried to keep each other laughing the whole time, and we did, and so that kind of saved me. And then along comes this movie called My Bodyguard, and they're auditioning kids to be in the movie, and I auditioned and auditioned again and did a callback and screen test, got the job.
Yeah.
So that was my ticket out of my troubled youth.
Wow.
Into a troubled young adult.
And no looking back after that, right? It's all full
That's
steam
right.
ahead.
That's right.
Do you have a memory of like the first time you saw yourself on the big screen, or like the first time you saw your thing, and like what impact did that have on you?
Well, the director, Tony Bill, he invited me to the editing room so that I could see how film was edited. And so they had this, what was it called? The old green thing. See, the memory goes. Not a rotoscope. Anyways, this editing machine, and it runs the film through it, and you can see it on this little screen. And the editor chops the celluloid together into pieces. That's why they call it a rough cut. He chops it and tapes it, takes out a couple frames here, a couple frames there. So I was able to see then what I looked like and sounded like. The word that was harder to hear myself and get accustomed to my voice than it was to actually see myself, because we all have a mirror, but we don't all record our voices and hear it played back.
Yeah.
So that was more shocking. Like, I don't know if you've ever listened to your show back, but your voice is probably embarrassing to you at times.
It's cringy, very cringy.
Oh, just kidding. You said your audience appreciates this sort of like.
We had a roast of me on this show, so there's nothing you can do that's gonna do any. These people burned me to the ground.
Good, nice.
So from Heath in the audience, he wants to know, when you become the big actor, what was your first big purchase? What was the first thing you blew some money on?
65 Mustang. I bought it from the script supervisor on My Bodyguard. It was black Landau top. It was green, 285, and I drove that across country a couple times with my girlfriend, and eventually ended up just selling it to her for $1 because she needed to go back to high school. No, I'm kidding. College. Shut up. This was the 70s, 80s, whatever. But it was a 65 Mustang.
Yeah. No judgment.
Not a convertible, but it was literally from a little old lady from Pasadena. So it was a great car. That was my biggest purchase then. Yeah.
Very nice.
Gotta have a car. You're in LA. You gotta have a car.
Gonna be an actor. You gotta get around. Okay, so let's dive into Full Metal Jacket, because obviously there are a few movies that impact the landscape of theater and in such a way that just those words instantly people have this scene and that scene and this moment and that moment, and one of, God forbid, one of the most quotable. I can remember going through basic training and and this is in 2002. I'm going through basic training and people are quoting that movie. So when did it first become apparent to you, like, the impact this movie was going to leave on culture, on pop culture? Was it when it was filming or after?
Oh, well, after. We initially, when we were filming, we thought, hey, we got this in the bag. We're in the Kubrick Vietnam movie. This is going to be the greatest Vietnam movie ever on film, which I think it's arguably is. And then we were filming, and Stanley Kubrick was notorious for taking a long time to film. And we had been filming, I think, for 3 or 4 months. This was in the late summer, fall of 1985. And we read in the trades while we're sitting around on set waiting for the camera setup, reading the Variety. Hey, what's this other Vietnam movie that they're casting? Who's Oliver Stone? Ha ha, we're in the Kubrick. Anyway, so you cut to Oliver Stone standing with his Oscars, because Stanley was so, I guess the polite word would be methodical in putting his movie together. So we didn't come out until 87. It had been a couple of years. And it did okay at the box office, but it didn't do nearly what it could have, I think, had he beaten Oliver Stone out to the box offices. But that's in the past. His movie holds up, I think, better. But that's just me. I'm biased. I think it portrays the Marines in a better light than Oliver Stone portrayed the Army guys in Platoon. You know, they were just villains. And I was like, it's not quite how it goes. You know.
So there's so much I want to ask about this movie, and you know, what kind of training did you have to go through to prepare for the role, whether it be physically or gun training or anything like that?
I didn't do nearly as much as I should have or could have, because I was in the second half, and we had to jump right in and get filming when we arrived, and we filmed it outside London, England, and it was just sort of like, here's your gear, and go work with the armorer. Make sure you don't aim that at anybody, and go fire off, you know, a couple 10,000 blanks, and the rest of the time I kind of had to trust in getting the feel of the props, getting to know the props. But I was in pretty good shape when I got there. I had done a wrestling movie before that, so I was probably in tip-top shape. So the physical training, I kind of kicked myself for not having begged Stanley to go and just be one of the extras running behind all that stuff. Just keep me out of focus, but let me train with the guys. But I was young and dumb and didn't think about it, and but that's hindsight. So I didn't have as much training as some people might think, but it's clear when you look at again, my fingers on the trigger. I had very poor trigger discipline, and
I mean, I think we can forgive you. Like for instance, Phil here wants to let you know.
But see, now when Phil here watches this movie, he's gonna go, aha, he's right. I noticed it before, but now that he said it, oh yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Well, lame.
Here you go. Just so you understand, Phil says Animal Lover was the reason I picked my MOS when I enlisted into the Marines. So, wow. I mean,
well,
you inspired a generation.
Well, I appreciate that. I've had a lot of people tell me that they became machine gunners thanks to Animal Mother. The arc of the story with Animal Mother and 8-Ball is 8-Ball was supposed to be one of his ammo mules, and Dorian Harewood, the actor who played 8-Ball, he was supposed to stay with us all the way through to the end of the sniper scene, but he was married and he missed his wife and kids, and he wanted to finish his contract and come home because none of us were getting paid much, but that's one of those things. Well, we would have done it for free, but they were paying us. Most of us were getting like double British equity, which was about $1,500 a week, which is okay if you're not doing anything else. They pay your room and board, so that's you can't complain at that. But after taxes and agents' fees and all that stuff, it ends up diminishing. So Dorian, having a wife and kids, he needed to go back home and find other work. And he said, Stanley, I need more money. And Stanley said, no. And Dorian said, well, I'm walking. So Stanley said, okay. And he killed him in that dirt for 2 weeks. It was in the winter, and he made him lay in that cold, sticky blood for 2 solid weeks, which is punishment for an actor. Here I am talking to military guys. You've been actually shot. He's pretending to be shot. But for us pussy actors, it's
And that sounds horrible.
But
I wouldn't want to do that.
But that was like 12 hours a day. He would lie there getting up for lunch, and that's about it. And Dorian didn't complain once because he knew he was a short timer. He was going home. But he was supposed to come with us all the way to the end. And so all that prologue of Animal Mother spouting things that probably couldn't get green lighted as a screenplay nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I won't repeat them here. Just watch the movie. All of that stuff pays off because he and 8-Ball save each other's ass in that final push into the sniper. But that went by the wayside.
Yeah. There was definitely a lot there that that more could have come of it. Man, there's so many guys. You keep the comments coming. I'm trying to keep track of it. There's a lot of it. Kaz makes a really good point that he says the beautiful thing about Full Metal Jacket is that it's 2 very good movies kind of rolled into one. And I agree, because that first half of the movie, the basic training experience could be its own film and have its own conclusion, and then obviously the experience in Vietnam being something completely different. That was awesome.
It is. The second half of Full Metal Jacket is one of the greatest war movies ever made, in my opinion. Only to be superseded by the first half, which is probably the greatest boot camp sequence you're ever going to see.
I mean, there is no one.
No one like the Gunny.
The Gunny is a scary man. He's a scary man. I've had I'm sure not as much as you, but I've met him a few times before he passed, and even just being in the presence of the man is just super intimidating. When I was just like, oh my God, you're the guy.
Right, but he's a loving man of God, and he pushed people to be better and to be more honorable. And I miss him and admire him and his legacy forever.
Absolutely. Yeah, he did a few. I was in the hospital when I was injured, and he did a few tours. He would come by, multiple times throughout the year and visit the guys, and it's this thing about the military guys with it's that dark humor. We'd be in our beds and all bandaged up, and he's like, what are you doing there, just lying there, like you're gonna get up, and just trying to motivate people, and it was so cool to the guys would tell him, like, I want you to yell at me. Yeah, I want you to yell at me. I'm a piece of shit. Tell me I'm a piece of shit. And so he was awesome. Such a great guy.
Yeah, I tried that with a buddy of mine. He's a good golfer, and he was in Fallujah, and he had a traumatic brain injury. But he's on the other side of that now. But he had kind of a bit of a break recently, and he was whining on the golf course. I said, you're going to use that as an excuse for the rest of your life, and it hurt his feelings, and I felt really bad about that because I didn't know how on edge he was.
Yeah.
But I figured that's what Gunny would have done. Gunny would have given him shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was just trying to motivate him. It's like, you're a grown man. Quit your whining. Let's go.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there. I mean, Fallujah was not good.
It was a bad time. It was a bad time for a lot of people. So Jim wants to know, has there ever been a line that you kept messing up and finally got it, and then it ended up getting cut out of the movie?
Oh, shoot. Well, if we're talking about Full Metal Jacket, I don't think I ended up screwing up any lines. I was able to improv the interview scene a little bit. Stanley just said, do some research and how would you be interviewed? So I came up with one of my favorite lines in the movie is, what do I think about the war in Vietnam? I think we should win. I wrote that line.
There you
go. The end scene where we go in and we kill the sniper. There was a sequence, and I've talked about this before, but Animal Mother has a machete on his back for the whole movie for one reason, and that's in the end scene when Joker administers the coup de grace, and puts her out of her misery. Shoot me. And all the boys, after he does that, they go, oh,
Hardcore.
hard dude, hardcore, man. You're one hard dude. Animal mother. He's like, oh, fuck that shit. Shing, lops off her head, picks it up, swings it around to the guys and said, that's hard. Fuck you guys. Let's go. Boom. But it was a little gory. The heads, there were 2 heads from Madame Tussauds wax museum that they had built. Each one was worth 10,000 English pounds, like almost 15, 20 grand back then, each. And we beat the hell out of those things. And when I finally saw the movie at the Academy screening room in here in Hollywood, Stanley didn't tell me that was not going to be in the movie. So when that scene is coming up, I'm going, oh boy, here we go, guys. Okay, Mickey Mouse. Wait, what happened? What happened? What happened to the scene where I cut off the sniper's head? I can only imagine. Needless to say, I was a little disappointed that wasn't in there. I understand in retrospect, too gory. Would have given it an X rating. You can't have that. I always wanted to see the footage though, and I ran into Stanley's major domo, a guy named Leon Vitale. He's got a really cool documentary called Working Actor, I think, and he surrendered his professional life as an actor to Stanley Kubrick to be his assistant and help us. He was our dialogue coach and he helped us get ready for scenes and stuff. He was a very good actor. But I ran into him later and I said, where is that footage? I just want to see it. And he said, oh no, Stanley, when he died, had it in his will that all of his extraneous footage, his thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of hours of footage that he had shot and kept archived, he had it all incinerated at the local garbage dump, because he knew this would have been, I don't know, 10, 12, I don't know, when Eyes Wide Shut, right before Eyes Wide Shut came out. I forget the year, but it's 10, 12, 15 years ago now. All of it was destroyed because he knew there would be YouTube snippets out of context of his film, and he didn't want that. He didn't want outtakes out there. He just said, no, my film stands on its own, and everything else, kill it, destroy it. So I was like, oh, well, that's too bad. Just would have wanted to see it. Or at least a still of me holding up that little sniper's head.
Oh, man, what I can only imagine, something like that being filmed in today's set. Like, you see Marvel's Avengers, and you got Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. their cell phone video of while they're in costume and stuff. I mean,
right?
That would be much different than today if it was Full Metal Jacket, made today.
Also, the gore now. I don't think, not the Al Gore, the gore, blood and gore, is so much more intense that I think we probably could have gotten away with the head much more than we could have gotten away with the actual dialogue.
Some of the words, yeah.
The salty dialogue.
Yeah. The way Marines and soldiers can sometimes talk in the heat of the moment. I'm curious. So the weapons you guys are carrying are not props in the sense of what they would do today is rubber and foam board. You were carrying full on weapons, right? Because I'm watching you wield the 240, and that thing looks heavy. It looks real heavy.
That's funny. Just get stronger.
Yes, that is the correct answer. Because that.
And so I think it was 18 pounds. Funny, I stole that line from a guy I like to call Tony the Seal. When we were doing the pilot episode of The Last Ship, he was with us as a weapons expert and technical advisor, showing us how to, as a team, go down a passageway and take out the bad guys. We were sitting around in between takes talking about that exact same thing. And he just sort of kept, I know he set me up. Thanks, Tony. And he's a big guy. I mean, I'm 6'4", he's 6'4", but got about 70 more pounds of muscle, just just a beast, rock solid, 265 and just romping, stomping dynamite. But casual, athletic power. And he's just sitting there, and he turns to me and he goes, "So yeah, that M60 you're carrying, what that thing weigh?" And I said, "Well, it's about 18 pounds." And they had the little bandolier of blanks all over my chest, crisscrossing. I said, "Yeah, it got heavy after a while." And that's when he took that beat and go, "Just get stronger." My asshole just got, "Oh, thanks, Tony. Thanks."
Yeah. What do you say?
We didn't have him back for the next episode. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I
These are
did.
just jokes.
I got called out. They're like, because I said 240, because I was thinking back to what I carried, and then no, of course they didn't have the 240 in Vietnam. It was the M60. I got people calling me out on my own military trivia here.
That's okay. That's a really fun gun to shoot. Yeah, that's just, I had a blast, and Stanley just said, "More bullets, more blood, more smoke, more fire. Adam, animal mother, just let her rip." Great. But it's a great gun because it has that inner, see, again, I'm not a real gun expert, but it has that recoil buffer system in the butt, so it's easy to shoot. It's heavy, but it's easy to shoot. I got stronger. But there's one scene where we're running into the Ville after the mortar attack, and Lieutenant Touchdown dies, and there's this long sort of steady cam tracking shot of us running and leapfrogging each other into the Ville, and you can see me at the end of that, throw my back up against the wall and just go, because it was probably, we ran probably 200-300 yards, and
And I'm sure it wasn't one take either.
Oh no, God, that was probably take 10. Yeah. Back to one, Adam. You look like you're out of breath. I don't want to seem like Animal Mother's out of breath. Like, okay. Copy that.
Act like you're good at this.
Act like you're in shape, Adam. He picked on me the most in the early going, I think, because you take down the big guy. I was the big guy, so anytime I was not saying the lines exactly as he wanted to, he'd say, "Just better acting, please." Oh.
No, he knows how to get under the skin, right? He knows how to.
He was right. We were young and salty and stupid, but.
All right, fair enough. Let's jump to another one of your most beloved characters, Firefly, Serenity. I mean, Jane is such. I struggle to think about this because it is such a beloved series. There's such a fandom for it, but I can't think of another series now. Like, let's be honest, it didn't last very long. It was short-lived, but I can't think of another fandom that is as passionate for Serenity and Firefly as the fan base you have for that. Why do you think that is? What is it about that series that just people are so connected to?
Combination of several things. I think it had a wonderful cast. We had a great captain in Nathan Fillion as Mel Reynolds. And the old saying, "Shit rolls downhill," is true. If you have number one on the call sheet is a good guy and an entertaining guy, then everybody else tends to follow along in his slipstream. Zachary Levi on Chuck, same thing. Really wonderful, talented guy. And I think the writing was original. The writing was really cool and fun. And every cast member fit their role perfectly. We just what happened with Firefly was 2002. It's 20 years ago. 2002. There was no streaming services really, and there's internet was there, but it wasn't like you could watch a lot of stuff on it. So the alternative for it to go anywhere wasn't available to us. Fox Television had really only 2 hours of primetime real estate, they call it, the 9 o'clock and the 10 o'clock hour, or the 8 o'clock and the 9 o'clock hour. 10 o'clock was just the local news. And that was the first year of American Idol. American Idol took up all the oxygen, and we filmed a pilot for Firefly. It was 2 hours long, and they didn't have the real estate for it. There were a couple of other really good pilots competing. There was Fastlane that McGee delivered, which was young hot people in cars, and they're cops, and they're catching people, and they're sexy, and slick cars. And then there was John Doe, which was Dominic Purcell, which was a really good show. And so they got the Wednesday night slots, and we were relegated to Fridays at 8. And the young people aren't home watching that kind of show that we had Friday nights at 8. At least they weren't then. I don't know what they're doing nowadays. Well, not even, I guess. But it was a combination of things. We didn't get the ratings. Ultimately, there weren't enough eyeballs on the sets to keep us going. But it held up in DVDs. The DVD sales were huge, and that's what got us enough cachet to do the movie Serenity. And that's a cool movie. I think it's a little sad in the end, but no spoilers. And who knows? There are comic books galore. They're graphic novels. The storyline went on. Just it hasn't been put back on camera. I think I always promised. I said I'll never be a 60-year-old Jane Cobb. I can't run as fast anymore with that damn knee. But who knows? There's ways of telling stories.
Sure. I mean,
that's above my pay grade, pal.
In the era of where like nostalgia reigns supreme and everything is rebooted and resequelized and side multiversal, like, I mean, if there could always be we're gonna bring them back, and they're older motley crew of guys coming back, and they're not as spry as they used to be, but they get the job done. Hey, maybe.
Yeah, there are other alternatives now. There's virtual realities that we can figure out too.
We'll make an NFT out of it. That's
again, yeah.
Now
that's a non fungible
token. That's right. Yeah, you're hip with the lingo, man. You're staying hip. I like it.
I didn't go down that road though. Like crypto. Nope.
Yeah,
nope.
It's
real
scary.
estate. Buy real estate.
Yeah. I respect that. A question says, do you remember the Jane quote where he says, "When does eating people become fun?"
I think that was in Bushwhacked, the second episode. Am I right?
Yeah. I couldn't pick one line out of all of them. So
it's a Reaver reference. The Reavers were these barbarians that had been poisoned by this experiment that big government, the Alliance, had tried on a certain planet, and Miranda, and it went wrong. They meddled. They tried to make people better.
When has that ever gone wrong in sci-fi?
I don't know. I think it goes wrong. It goes wrong in real life too. Recently, it happened recently too. But we're not going to talk about that shit.
We're keeping it to pop culture.
No.
The next question is I guess this is just they want you to know that the episode where the settlement is named after Jane is the best episode. So.
Well, I appreciate that. I disagree because I'm more self-deprecating. I think that's a good and a fun episode. I had a blast, Janestown, but I think the pilot episode, Serenity, which is 2 hours long, was a great one. And there's another one called Out of Gas. That's it.
There you go.
Where it does, a lot of character development flashback. Where do these characters really originally come from? I got to get. I love it when I can put dirt and sweat on me and grow my facial hair out and get all scruffy and nasty before it turned gray. Actually, it was gray then. We colored it then. I was the sexiest newcomer, TV Guide's sexiest newcomer in 2002. Yeah, 2020 years ago, and I was 40. Tricked him. I tricked him. Makeup and hair dye.
Hey, that was that's how you say. Well, 40 is the new 20. You know, that's
Yeah.
what it is. You're staying ahead of curve.
Again, keep stretching.
So, question from Jim. He says, "You're the best one here. Are actors bummed out when they make? I guess when they make it on a blooper reel, like you find yourself on a blooper reel."
Well, I would always, if I blew a line, I would always just say fuck, 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 fuck. So if that was going to be my blooper reel, it's going to be that, for the most part. I can say fuck on this show, can I?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Yeah, fuck it. All right. I bummed out. Some people embrace it, like Nathan and Zach. They loved it. I was just more concerned about, let's get the day shot, guys. Let's not spend too much time horsing around, because time is money, and I don't know. That's just sort of the way I was taught to keep working. And also, I was one of the elders. Ron Glass and I on that show were the elder statesmen, and we just had to keep it about the work. Keep it about the work. This is funny. Let the really funny guys do the bloopers.
Right. Okay.
Because they're priceless. They do it. Like Alan and Nathan on that show are just priceless together. Hilarious.
Yeah. I can't imagine. As a fan of the show, I can't imagine being in the presence of these guys and just, because what we see obviously is the finished product, but seeing people play with the characters or do things in and out of character that we don't end up seeing in the final product. I'm sure that's a nice little bonus of getting to be behind the scenes and act with them, I would imagine.
Yeah, it is, and some of the most entertaining stuff happens in between takes, and it can be distracting as hell, especially for someone that has trouble memorizing his lines. Like, I have to work really hard at learning my lines. I do work hard, but I have more difficulty doing it than certain other guys that they just like have photographic memory, and I'm very envious of that skill. So when they're goofing off in between takes and it's my shots, like, dude, come on, I gotta focus here. Otherwise, we're gonna be here all night. You don't want that, because I get cranky.
I'm 60 years old, people. Come on.
Not 60 now. I wasn't. I mean, I'm 60 now, not then.
Right.
I was 40 then, man.
Fair enough.
I still.
So another. I mean, again,
you're too fucking stupid to ever get this old, anyway.
If I'm lucky. Another. I mean, again, phenomenal character that I'm sure so many people recognize you for is from the show Chuck. I mean, looking at it on paper, I'm like, Chuck went 91 episodes. Like, that's insane, and especially in a day and age where people's attention span is 5 minutes long.
Right.
When you look back at Chuck, like, what do you feel is the legacy of that show?
Well, we tried to make a modern day Get Smart. I don't know if you're familiar with Mel Brooks's Get Smart with Don Adams. When I was a kid, that was on, and it was kind of a modern day turn on that. And it really goes to, Chris Fedak and Josh Schwartz in creating the show, and then Zach Levi as Chuck. He was able to create that character, and I just sort of rode along as the sniper funny guy, straight man. And then, of course, we had the gloriously beautiful Yvonne Strahovski. We would have had 100 episodes had there not been a writer's strike in the first season. We lost the back 9. We weren't sure if we were even going to get picked up. Each year, the network would wait until really May, the upfronts, to decide whether we were coming back. But we did. We got 5 years minus the 9 episodes. It was a glorious run, really fun, and silly but fun.
Yeah, it you have, like you said, you playing the straight man, and then the bombshell, and then the glorious idiot, where we could all as viewers be like, that could be me, and it really takes the viewer for a ride. And I've always loved shows like that. A lot of people saying in the chats, oh, Chuck's an amazing show, loved it. One question, and I don't want to get you in any trouble. I'm gonna ask it, but I'm gonna allow you to dodge it respectfully. Who did you not care for working with? Well, I think that's how he's trying to say it.
Who did you not care for working with?
Yes.
You mean in all of my career?
I would assume in the career, who would you not take the chance to work with again?
Um, I think I would be my own worst enemy. I wouldn't want to work with me again if I were me. Um, I try to get along with everybody. They probably don't look at it the same way, but I show up and do my job and go home. I try not to hang out afterwards. There really aren't. I can't really think of any.
That's not a bad career right there. Nobody jumps to mind. That's not a bad career.
No.
Who?
You don't necessarily make friends. You may make enemies, just because there's a pressure cooker. Making movies and TV is like it's battle without actual violence. There are no bullets flying and there's no explosions, and the fisticuffs generally don't land. They're not intentionally landed most of the time. So you have personality clashes that invariably happen, and I'm a big bullheaded guy sometimes, but try to be professional as much as I can. Certainly in my later years, I've gotten better at it. Yeah, you do get better the more you do it. It's not like running, which is a perishable skill.
Right. Let me ask you this. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What's a quality or an attribute of certain actors that you admire the most? Right. What's something that you find very admirable in other actors?
The ability to say yes in a scene, not necessarily the word yes, but to go along with playing the positive, I like to call it, play the positive aspect of a scene. That's, I think, the most valuable talent that another actor can have, because it's appreciative. It appreciates the scene, and it appreciates the opponent. When you're doing a scene, it is a competition. You want to win the beat. You want to get the dunderhead on the other side of the Zoom call to nod along with you and smile, and then you win that beat. So that's and the good thing is the good thing is, see, you did that, but you did it good naturedly, and you got me to laugh. So that's when a scene is good, is when both guys are doing it back and forth, or guys and gals are doing it back and forth, and you have two skilled actors that are doing that, and it's sort of this conflict, and that I think is the most positive, wonderful attribute. That and showing up on time, and don't yell at the assistant directors, or props. Learn your prop guy's name. Props, where's my coffee? Don't be that guy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking notes. For my future career.
Go get your own freaking coffee.
Hey, if you were a great newcomer at 40, I still got a chance. I'm
sexiest.
Sorry, sexiest.
Thank you.
God forbid. I'm sorry. Can you describe for me, in your career, like what was the worst day of filming you can remember, whether it was exhaustion or just the scene wasn't working, or for whatever reason, when you think back and you're like, that was the worst day ever. What jumps out in your mind?
Wow. The worst day ever. Huh.
Covered in blood and guts. You're freezing. Your back's
okay.
killing you.
Maybe in Houston, Roy Scheider and I were doing a movie called Cohen and Tate. It's a story of two hitmen who are hired to kidnap the son of a wealthy business guy and hold him for ransom. Instead of just kidnapping the business guy, we kidnapped the kid.
Obviously.
And the kid then it's funny, my dad, he watched the movie. He came down to visit me in Houston. Um, he said, when you kidnap the kid, why didn't you just tie him up and put him in the trunk? You know, the whole movie is him yapping at you and getting you at each other's throats when you could have just gagged him and put him in the house. Like, Dad, then there's no movie. But the worst, I think the worst night was a winter night. We were filming in an oil field outside Houston. And if you're familiar with Houston, it's very damp and cold. And again, covered with blood. I get, prosthetic, fake shot in the face. Bam, bam, exit wound. Blood all over myself. And then going into this big shootout fight scene all night, maybe 2 or 3 nights. That was probably physically the worst because it was just so bloody cold. I don't like being cold. I was younger then. I could get away with it. I only got fired once, but that wasn't my fault. The lead actress, she got fired, and the person they hired to replace her was like 15 years older. So I was supposed to play a love interest, and I was too young. And I was only probably like 20 at the time, 21. It just wasn't going to work. So they hired another guy. That was a little devastating when you actually you get the call from the agent. Look, it's an adjustment period, and we're going to transition. But you'll get other work.
Yeah, we thank you for your
Meanwhile,
time. And
yeah, well, they paid me, so at least I got paid. But things like that.
Okay, all right.
Probably the worst day was that screening of Full Metal Jacket, and having it the sniper, the head scene gone.
That, I would imagine that that's a triumphant moment for the scene, like for that specific scene, for the character arc. That is a powerful moment.
I know.
Sorry to rub it in. I'm like, man, that would have really been awesome to see.
There's another scene, although they do come back. There's payback in your career, like in Independence Day, when the alien has Brent Spiner, choking him out, and he's mind melding with the president, controlling him, all that, and the general says, "Is that glass bulletproof?" I go, "No, sir." Bang, bang, bang. We shoot through the glass and kill the alien, or shoot the alien, and then Major Mitchell goes and coup de grace shoots the alien in the head. That wasn't in the script, but I suggested that maybe we could do that. And the director said, "That's a good idea. Shoot that second unit, and we'll see if we like it. We're going to go do the other scenes that we have on the schedule." So I hung back with the second unit. We shot it, and it stayed in the movie. There was an arc in The Patriot. My character, Captain Wilkins, in the final battle scene, we ride into the battle, and then the Green Dragoons get separated from each other, and Tavington, he ends up with in a duel with Martin, and Martin gets Tavington on his back. He's about to run him through, and over Martin's shoulder is Captain Wilkins on his horse with his pistol pointed at him, and Tavington sees him and goes, "Wilkins, shoot him! Don't just stand there, do something," or something, And I raise the pistol and look at Martin, and we have a sign of respect, and we look at this scumbag, Tavington, and I ride away. So there's sort of this, and then Mel kills him. That hit the cutting room floor, so I was a little disappointed in that. I am told that it is in the extended version, though, or the DVD extra, so it exists. It's not like the sniper scene.
Right.
It actually exists.
I've seen that scene. I know for a fact I've seen that scene somewhere. But I'm the weirdo that watches all the behind the scenes and extra stuff. I love that stuff. There wasn't a point brought up that actually I was thinking about it as they said it, and Phil says that he sees a lot of the dry humor of Animal in John Casey, and it made me think of, like, in an alternate world somewhere, like if almost these two characters could be related, right? Like in a sort of weird way. Like, yeah, my uncle served in Vietnam, and he had this weird nickname, Animal Mother, and like that would have been a cool a cool thing to tie into. I don't know. Did you see any? Do you feel like there was any of that kind of crossover between those two characters?
Well, I think we always bring some of ourselves to a character. It's a rare actor that doesn't use his own experience, his own dry humor
Mm.
in his characters, and that's kind of the way they were written too. Let's see, Casey was, gosh, I would have been almost 50, so 23, 26, 7 years later, yeah, Uncle Casey.
Yeah, well, could be. Well, I mean, the math. Maybe it could be yeah. I got you. I'm thinking like, it could be a dad. I don't know. We're getting into the weird like fan fiction now. Um, I mean, and not to mention on top of everything else, and again, you've done so many things. We're really nitpicking here. Just a bunch of voice acting stuff. Superman. I mean, Superman. You got to voice one of the most iconic superheroes in history. I mean, what is that like when you get that call? Like, yes, we want you to be the voice of Superman. What goes through your head?
Well, that one I had to do three different voices, all very similar.
Right.
And I had to do Clark Kent, I had to do Superman and Dark Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So where, I'm saying to the director, how do we differentiate these three? And
Put on glasses.
wise guy. That's what the director said. Well,
No.
they pushed the button. Well, one Adam, you have glasses on. Thank you. Oh my God. How do you say your last name? Carrasquillo?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm Michael Carrasquillo. What I really want to do is direct.
One day.
Yeah, so
One day.
so Superman is like this. Dark Superman's a little more like this, and Clark Kent's a little more like this. So there's a subtle difference. It's a living. Baby needed new shoe. Baby needed new shoes. Honey, go to work. Okay.
I mean, so on top of that, I mean, you did a voice for Green Lantern. You did 48 episodes of the Jackie Chan Adventures, which that one I saw in your resume. I'm like, that one, I remember that cartoon. I don't remember there being 48 episodes of it, but at all. But you were there.
That came along at a very good time for me. Firefly got canceled, and I got that Jackie Chan Adventures. And there was a point where we were in the recording booth, and I was sad. I was bummed out that the show had been canceled, and one of the other actors in there, Clancy Brown, great actor and a wonderful guy. He's in between coffee break or whatever, and I'm just going, man, is this what it's come to? Am I just going to be Finn on the Jackie Chan Adventures from now on? And, I had 3 kids. I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay for school? And Clancy goes, what's wrong, brother? And I said, I'm just so down. I had that show and now it's not going, blah, blah. Why can't I be George Clooney or something like that? And he goes, no, you got it all wrong. You got it all wrong, brother. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. It's not about the highs and the lows, not ups and downs in life. It's zigs and zags. You're zigging and zagging. We're all in this sort of earth plane, and eventually we all fall off the edge. So he said, just don't compare yourself. You're on your own path through the forest. Just walk that path. And it really was a good sense of perspective for me, a very motivational, and I tried to keep a stiff upper lip since that point. And when you take love and confidence into a room, positivity, you tend to get more jobs. than when you bring in fear and negativity. Or that which is not love is fear, or that which is not fear is love. And so that goes for any interview. If you go in, you like the game, you love the people, and you love the words, and you've worked on it, then you're going to be the best you that you can be, and they're either going to hire you or not. But you're not going to walk away from that audition or interview saying, God, I wish I'd just prepared better. No, it's just you weren't right for it. You get told no a lot more than you get told yes, and it's taken me. I guess it took me about 25 years to learn that.
Wow. Yeah.
My wife gave me a great piece of advice when I was testing for Chuck. Actually, she said, just go in there and make sure not only that you love the character and the people that you're auditioning for, also love on your competition, because there's always at the final stage there's 1 or 2 or 3 guys maximum that you're competing against, and just if you love on them, there's no negativity of envy, jealousy, fear that comes up. You're just like, dude, if you don't get the job, I hope I do. Wait, I said that backwards. No, I didn't. It's fine. It works.
I said what I meant.
No, I say that to folks in the elevator on the way down. Well, if you don't get it, I hope I do. And they look at me like, what? Like Gene LaBelle was this great the great judo Gene LaBelle. He's famous for having choked out what's his name, Seagal on the set. Anyways, he had hands of steel, 6-degree black belt. And you've met guys like that who have mitts for hands, they have catcher's mitts for hands. You probably have them yourself. But there are really, like Tony the Seal, same thing. Catcher's mitt hand. Johnny Bench, same thing. Judo Gene LaBelle was like that. He had a vice grip, and he would gently take your hand, and he'd say, "You feel great. How do you look?" Never forget that guy.
God, you're dropping all kinds of wisdom. I'm using all of these from now on. We've been going a while now. Do you have a little? You want to do a quick lightning round? You want to do a couple quick innings?
Holy shit! It's already 7:30. Wow.
Time flies.
Yeah. Let's go, man. Lightning round. Hit me.
All right. What's your craziest fan interaction?
This one.
Who said anything about a fan? Moving on to the next question. Got him. What's something that you did you're super proud of, but maybe didn't get its fair shake at the time, or that you wish more people would go now and see?
We did a series called The Cape, which was about the astronaut training program down at Cape Canaveral, and I spent a year down there. It was a syndicated show, and I'd say the pilot episode is really excellent. Corbin Bernsen, myself, and several other actors, Bobby Hosea and Cameron Bancroft, several others. And we had a great time. I got to see the launch of the space shuttle 4 times, 3 times standing on top of the vehicle assembly building, which is the tallest building around. It's 3.5 miles from the launch pad. And that's a good show. I'd say that we did 22 episodes, and they didn't pick us up for a second season for political reasons, but not like Washington politics, but like movie politics, TV politics. I'd say out of the 21 episodes, 10 of them are great, and 8 of them are excellent, and then the other ones are really hokey, sappy, soap opera crap. But it's set there at Cape Canaveral. So that's a good one. I also did a show called Smoke Jumpers, which was part of the In the Line of Duty series, where I play a wildland smoke jumper firefighter, and the character, obviously, in the line of duty that he dies. So that's a good one.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. If I wasn't an actor, I'd be.
Oh,
Wow, did I actually stump him on one? Holy shit!
Well, are you talking fantasy or something that's actually achievable?
I mean,
Uh,
what?
well, fantasy, you want to be like a rock guitarist, but I guess hockey player, pro hockey player, pro golfer, that sort of thing. That's a good life if you can get it.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Favorite memento you've kept stolen from a show? Borrowed.
Heck. Well, from Firefly, I had that big Bowie knife that I called Boo. I called the pistol Binky, and I called the knife Boo. So it's in the other room. I'm not going to go get it, but it's this gigantic Bowie knife, and it's got a really cool handle on it. Some people have texted me or tweeted me and said, "Oh, I got your knife from Fire." I was like, "That's a replica. That's not the right one."
Yeah, that's
But
always.
good for you. And oh no, I spent $2,500 on this. Like,
it came with a certificate of authenticity.
That's right. There's your signature. That's not my signature.
I love those.
What else?
What's the favorite acting memory? Like a scene, something that you were like, that was it. I was in the moment. The best thing I ever shot. Best moment of acting.
Gosh, the sequence where I run across the courtyard and approach 8-Ball as he's getting blasted in the courtyard. That was all so realistic to me because we were really blowing stuff up. It was all squibs and blanks, but it was loud, and
you were feeling
I think
it.
the reaction time was really feeling it. That and the redemption of going back and filming Serenity when we are being chased by the Reavers. We had this whole rig on a truck and this boom arm that came out from the truck, and the mule we were zipping along on was hovering over this trench, and we had cranes on other trucks that camera cranes that were zooming up and down and bobbing and weaving. That was hard and physically demanding. Hanging on a wire for 10 hours a day that was great fun. But the actual redemption itself of getting the resurrection of Firefly was great for all concerned. So I think at that point I was very, very happy.
All right. If we'll close out with this one. If you could fan cast yourself into any role, be it something that's already shot or something that hasn't been shot, what would be the thing that you think you would be perfect to play? The character, the franchise, the series, the universe, anything?
Clint Eastwood's already done it.
Okay, you want to be the next Clint Eastwood? All right.
No, it's just I could never even come close to that. But that's the sort of thing, that kind of career. If I could have had that one, but I'm happy with who I am. He's one of the reasons that I got into the movies and watching movies. My dad used to take me to those shoot 'em ups, and so I've had the honor of meeting him a couple times. That guy.
Well, I'll tell you what. Earlier in this very episode, we fan casted you on something. All right, I'm going to run it by you. I don't know how much you know about the comic book lore and things, but this is a pretty big one. We're saying Doctor Doom. Okay, Fantastic Four's Doctor Doom. We think you have the presence, you have the ambiance, you have the stature. We think you can play the tough. Because he's misunderstood. He's dark. He's brooding, but he's also kind of likable. Kind of funny.
I am kind of likable.
I think
I got that going for me. I'm kind of likable.
I think we. What do you think? You think you could do Victor Von Doom? You can do a Lithuanian, Eastern European kind of character.
Probably could. I could probably do that. Yeah.
All right.
That's a TV shot.
All right, we're gonna go with somebody else for Dr. Doom, but that's all right. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for auditioning. No, I think you'd be great, man. I think you'd be a great Dr. Doom villain against the Fantastic Four. Would you ever do a big superhero, big Marvel, DC kind of thing? Would you do it?
They can't afford me.
Fair enough, sir. Fair enough. Last thing, do you have anything you want to promote? Anything you want to talk about? Any your socials? Where can people follow you, find you, support you? What do you got?
Nah, none of that. I don't do any self promotion. None of that. You got to find me on your own.
There you go.
Check out my library. I got a big library. I love you, Michael. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
This has been an absolute blast. I know you're going to be at Shore Leave just outside of Baltimore. In almost 10, 11 days.
Amen. Yeah, that's the one thing that I should say is, Shore Leave out in, is it Hunt Valley?
Hunt Valley, yeah.
Just north of Baltimore. So if you can come on out and check it out, we'll have a good time.
Yeah, and I will be there, sir. We've got to meet face to face because I got some things I got to say to you. You know, gotta give you.
All right, bring tequila.
There you go. I got you, bud. I got you. Tequila and hand sanitizer. We'll be there. All right, we're gonna toss to a short break. I'm gonna go say goodbye to Adam. Everybody, this has been the absolutely amazing Adam Baldwin. Not to be confused with those other Baldwins. This is the best one. We will see much more of you soon, guys. We'll toss to a short break. Be right back with more after this. Shots.
Hoorah.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, all right? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, what do you think because the show's going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, all right? And it says, I'll be back.
Walk away.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's bring this sons of bitches back in the radar. Get your ass in here, son.
Oh, there he is.
Say hi, Radar.
Hi, Radar.
Shit, man. Right out the gate, Heath says that's my second favorite interview. If that's your second favorite, I'm very curious. What's your first favorite? What's your first favorite? Let us know. Let us know. He's like, the one that CQ wasn't there.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But
okay. So, but I'm gonna say this:
how awesome was Adam Baldwin?
fucking awesome, dude. I was gonna say it was fucking awesome. I loved it.
Oh man.
Yeah, like Joe said, that was the longest interview ever. It was like an hour and a half, dude.
I mean, I don't think we didn't really kick off until like 9:15 our time though.
That's
So
true.
it was
You
like
were
an
having some
hour and
issues.
15.
You were having some issues.
We were having a
with
couple tech on the back end. We were having some tech stuff, but we settled it out. Peter Sellers, but it wasn't you. See, I told you it was gonna be the one that CQ wasn't in. I was right. Anyway, dude, Adam Baldwin was awesome. Let me tell you something. And I was just telling Radar this in the background. That dude kept me on my toes the entire interview. Absolutely, like I felt if I lost focus at any moment, like he was gonna like haymaker and knock me out of the interview. You know what I mean? Like I've been doing this enough where and I shouldn't say this, but I've been doing this enough where you can kind of go on autopilot, like you know the questions you want to ask, you know the answers they're going to give, and I do enough research that I kind of hear these stories. Like I know these are new stories for you guys, but like I watch other interviews they do. So
Yeah.
like I purposely sometimes queue up, like if I think, oh, that's a really good story, I will intentionally queue up that story from him.
Yeah,
And
makes sense.
if I'm doing that, then that means I've heard the story before and all that. So sometimes I kind of tune out, or you might see me like I'm messaging the group, or I'm, you know, teetering with other things. But I felt with Adam, like it was like a while, like you're like, what's it, you're riding the bull when they're kicking around. Like if I lose focus for a second, I'm going to get bucked off this interview.
Yep.
He was awesome. And I was telling Radar, I said, that is the first interview where I've ever been flipped off by the guest. So I'm surprised it took 102 episodes to get to that point.
We all should be. We really all should be. Especially in the beginning where they were all your buddies and shit.
Yeah.
Well, your one friend flipped me off because I said
Tom Cruise shouldn't be an Iron Man.
Tom Cruise sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't be an Iron Man. Yeah. So dude, Adam was awesome. Adam was absolutely awesome. I have his cell phone number now, and he gave me permission to hit him up. So I think
good for you.
When he comes to shore leave, which is going to be in 11 days or 10 days, I'm going to go link up with him and see. We'll get a drink. We'll take some pictures. We'll swap some stories, and
he'll flip you off again.
I wanted to flip. I want a picture of him flipping me off to my face. Like that's what I want. That's what I want. I want a picture of him just full on flipping me off to the face. That was fun, man. He's got some great stories. He's got some absolutely great stories, and kept it. It's funny. It's funny. The last thing I'll say about it is that before we got on the air, you know, I always get, you know, like obviously he did his research. He knew at the start of the interview, he talked about my bio. He read about me. But there's always a hesitancy, right? Because they don't know, like we've talked about this. They're used to the 5-minute plug, the 10-minute plug, whatever.
Right.
They don't know what they're really in for when they come on the show, being that it's live, being that it's long format. And so I always get that same hesitancy. I think you've seen it a few times where they're like, so how long is this going to go on for?
Right.
And
I don't know if I can do this for this long. And everybody when they come on. Well, I don't know if I got.
Like
And then
I
it's
got a
like,
heart out. You know,
yeah, dude, I
gotta.
got to do whatever. And then it's like, and then next thing you know, it's, can we maybe do 45? Because I don't know if I can. And then
Mhm.
next thing you know, it's like an hour and a half in, and you're like, I really gotta get going. It's like
Yeah.
midnight. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. He had
Yeah.
I had to tell him, like, hey man, it's
Mhm.
been a minute. We should maybe start
Yeah.
wrapping it up. You know, because that's the idea, is that they have fun, they talk about what they're passionate about. You know, it's
Yep.
you know, I don't know. It kills me. I see, and I feel for these guys, because sometimes, like, as I'm doing my research, I'll find interviews, you know, where, like, obviously they're giving of their time, and however they ended up in this interview, but the interviewer is like, so what's it like being an actor? Do
Hmm.
do you like working on set? And do you like, and you're just like, oh God. Oh God, I'm so
Right.
sorry. That's I'm not a part of it, but man, that makes me want to apologize, because, like, that's horrible. So
Right. Yeah, I
um
feel badly for them.
Phil says I should have kept him going. You know, it gets to a point where I do, as much as, like, I want to be like, yes, give me more content. I also want to be respectful of their time. And I don't want them to look back at this and go like, yeah, I had fun, but man, that went way too long. Like, I never
Right.
want them to feel that. Like, I want them to look back. You know, we have so many people that still engage with us and, like, have fond memories of our show, because, you know, yes, they had more time to be themselves than they would typically do. But at the same time, you know, I can feel a certain energy. Like, he was good to go, but he was kind of like, we're like at that wrap up point. Like, when we had Eddie McClintock on, that dude did not want to get off air. And he's like, let's keep this going. And we did 2+ hours of the interview. Like,
Right.
you want a long interview, go back and watch the Eddie McClintock interview. That is a solid 2+ hours.
Yeah.
And, you know, and because, you know, I go off their energy. So some people you can feel like, hey, let's wrap it up, and so you cut it, and I think only once where we kind of, not that we got hung up on, but it was like, yeah, I gotta go. Like, I think you remember what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
He's like, I
Yep.
got a gig I gotta get to, and, like, it's been 35 minutes, we gotta it was like, oh, okay, bye.
I've got a medical reason I need to leave.
Yeah,
Like,
I gotta go.
yep.
But yeah, other than that, we're gonna wrap it up. I do have one story for you, Radar,
Yes. I love stories.
because you know, when we hear that,
Mm-hmm.
ladies and gentlemen, we know what that means. It's one of Radar's favorite segments. He loves talking about Tiger King. Anything to do with Tiger King. So, Radar, just for you, I have a Tiger King.
Yay! I love Tiger King.
Tiger King-ish. It's close. It's in the Tiger King family, we'll call it. It's not about Joe Exotic. It's not about Carol Baskin, but it's in the Tiger King family. So, did you hear that Tiger King's own Doc Antle was arrested by the FBI?
I heard something about
Yes, for alleged money laundering. So, obviously, you know, he's big muckety muck. This is last month, June 6th, June 7th. I didn't talk about it then because I was waiting to hear the results. So here on Thursday, June 30th, the U.S. Justice Department announced that a federal grand jury had returned a 10-count indictment that names Antle along with 4 other individuals, including 2 of his employees and business associates. And they're being the indictment alleges that Antle and at times Sawyer and Bybee, which I guess was kids, along with Vision Quest Ranch owner Charles Sommet and Franklin Drive Franklin Drive-Through Safari owner Jason Clay, a lot of people, illegally trafficked wildlife in violation of federal law, including the Lacey Act and the Endangered Species Act, and made false records regarding the wildlife. Originally, he was charged with laundering more than $500,000, which federal prosecutors allege were proceeds from a scheme to smuggle people over the Mexican border.
Jesus.
Yes. So the charges against Antle and Sawyer were revealed on Monday, Should they be convicted of the charges, Ansel and Sawyer each face a maximum of 20 years in federal prison, and Bybee, Summit, and Clay can each face up to 5 years in prison for the charges related to the wildlife trafficking. So, last thing, according to prosecutors, Ansel and Sawyer laundered $505,000 over 4 months. $505,000 over 4 months. They allegedly cut checks from businesses they controlled, receiving 15% of the money that came through. The checks prosecutors allege were falsely made under the guise of payment for construction work at the Myrtle Beach Safari, but were instead meant to serve as evidence that the recipients had legitimate income. Ansel discussed his plans to conceal the cash he received by inflating tourist numbers at his 50-acre wildlife tropical preserve, according to the complaint unsealed on Monday. So he was arrested by the FBI in South Carolina, and like he's
an idiot.
He's in it. He is in it. 2 of his daughters were also charged for violating the Endangered Species Act and the cruelty to animals as a result of the indictment. So, yeah, your boy Ansel is not looking good. And after
he ain't got away, nah.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
And then the sequel, remember the sequel did a whole like expose on his whole sordid background. So I feel like that didn't do him any favors. That was putting a bigger spotlight on him. So yeah, he's
that sucks. I mean, it kind of sucks, but not really. Like,
he's a horrible. I don't judge, but he's a horrible person.
they're all horrible people, and that's why we love them. That's why we love them so much, because they're just horrible, horrible people that feed people to tigers and have gay, messed up sex and whatever, dude. Like, what else would you expect? I'm actually kind of mad. Not mad. More disappointed.
Okay.
Because why the fuck you go to jail for money laundering? If you're gonna go, why is these bitches not in prison for, like, I don't know, distribution of methamphetamines? How about that one?
Isn't that how the old saying goes? Like, that's how they got Capote or Capone, like tax evasion.
Tax evasion.
That's the
right.
one. Yeah.
But I mean, that's the mildest shit. That if that's all they can get this dude on, all the fucking shit they had on camera. A prosecuting attorney had that shit on camera. Was like, nah, tax evasion, money laundering. That's what would get him on. Oh, that's what you can get these guys on, huh?
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying,
ones and zeros. It's harder to fudge, because here's the thing, right? When you're talking, what are you gonna call drugs and trafficking and all these different things? It's like, well, it's he said, she said, right? There's opinions, and it's up to.
But it's not he said, she said. It's literally on camera.
I know, but it's still.
I'm just saying,
hearsay. If there's anything I learned from the Johnny Depp, hearsay. That's what I say. Hearsay.
I mean, it ain't like he's shitting on someone's bed.
Hearsay. Allegedly. Hearsay.
Allegedly.
So anyway, ones and zeros. You can't lie about numbers.
True.
1 + 1 is 1 twice. Like that's how that works.
Well, I'm not letting you do my taxes. I'll be sitting in prison next to Doc Antle because fucking CQ fucked his shit up.
Is it tax evasion if I didn't know what I was doing? Like you can claim criminal insanity. Like, can you just dumb fuckery? Like, I have a case. I'm gonna allege I'm just a dumb shit. Anyway, all right, Mr. Radar, we have reached that time of the night.
That one time.
I want you, sir, to tell the fine folks at home what they could expect from a typical week here at WTF Nation Radio.
Well, what they can probably be looking for is tonight. You have been listening to Pop Culture Warrior with MCQ and me, Radar. And Adam Baldwin was here, fucking with CQ. He's my new favorite guest because he fucked with CQ. Now, tomorrow, Wednesday, Don's the day. Day of no scheduled activities. Ain't nobody going to be here. Shop's closed. Sorry about it. Tomorrow, or after tomorrow is Thursday. Swords time. Ice, Spanky, Sergeanting. They're going to talk about all the big Army, National Guard reserves, fucking bullshit. They might talk about that one dude who's a reservist on TikTok who, God, he really pissed me off. Maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe not. If he doesn't, we should talk about this fucking douchebag. But I don't want to give him the airtime. Next, on Friday night, Freedom, Kaz and Pookie. Pookie's in here, or was in here a little bit ago, hanging out. Great show. They have a bunch of good shit they put together. It's fun. Hang out on Fridays, Friday Night Freedom with Kaz and Pookie. Now, Saturday and Sunday, we don't have anything yet. Got some stuff coming, but nothing yet. It's breathing hard, but it's not coming just yet. Now, Monday, the aptly named Monday edition, because it happens every Monday. Ice and a co-host will be here to bring you all kinds of current events, things that happen over the weekends, things you might have missed. There's something going on in Europe they talk about upon occasion, all kinds of shit. Okay. They will be here Monday night for the Monday edition. Now, after Monday is Tuesday. Tuesday is him, CQ, and me, Radar, back here for Pop Culture Warrior.
That is correct. And now a little tease for next week. Just a tip. Next week, we have the incredible Anjali Bihmani joining us. And while that might not be a name that you instantly recognize, she's currently playing Auntie Ruby on Miss Marvel. So she's the auntie in Miss Marvel, all 6 episodes, as well as, a number of other things. She's been in a ton of stuff. She was in SEAL Team, The Loud House, Rival Peak, what else? Blind Spot. She's a great voice actress. She was in the Final Fantasy VII remake as the voice actress. She was in Runaways. She was in the Marvel TV series Runaways. She's done Fallout. She's in like 2 or 3 of the Fallout video games. She's the list goes on and on and on. She's an incredible actress from Silicon Valley. Overwatch. If you guys like the video game Overwatch, she's one of the voices in Overwatch. So yeah, we got a ton to talk about with Miss Bihmani. And
she's hilarious.
And she's very hilarious. Very funny. Mm-hmm. Very funny actress. So we got that coming up next week. So we'll be talking a lot of Miss Marvel.
Is that why you didn't want to talk about it tonight?
Yes, we'll be talking a lot of Miss Marvel. And honestly, and then tomorrow is the series finale. Or not series finale, but the season finale for Miss Marvel.
No.
It's episode 6.
I thought it was 5.
Is it 5?
I think it's 5.
It might be 5. It might be 5 or 6. I don't know. It's one or the other.
It's 5.
It might be 5. Anyway, either way, we're coming up. We're coming up to the end of Miss Marvel.
Yes. Maybe she can have some spoilers for the end for us.
I don't think she's going to do that.
I still don't know who the bad people are.
It's the Jinn, man. It's what they call them, the fucking
They're the Jinn.
Outsiders, the contenders. Whatever, they had a name.
Yeah, but the Jinn are also good people. I don't understand it.
Yeah. So Heath wants to know. Heath wants to know, when will the smoke pit be open for business? When, Radar? When?
I can't find a lighter to light the lamp. The smoking lamp is not lit.
The torches have not been lit. We
cannot have a smoke pit without the smoking lamp being lit. No, I don't know, dude.
Tell the people what they want to know. Tell the people.
They don't want to know.
They don't want to hang out. They are literally asking now.
I will show you this interesting bit of kit I got. This guy right here. That is, I've already started filming my intro stuff. So that is going to be a big part of the show. And I'm going to change it on occasion. And I'm figuring out different routes and different fun things to do with it.
Don't tease too much. Don't tease too much.
I'm going to tease a little bit.
Just a little. Just a tip.
So the smoke pit, I'm guessing I think the smoke pit, I think we're pushing for kind of the beginning of August. I think was kind of I don't know. It's hard this time of year because I have to get with him to get my shit set up, finish getting my shit set up, and get it to where my dumb ass can run it. Right? You guys remember the whole Marine Corps thing, right? I'm stupid. Dumb. I'm dumb AF.
We got ourselves a Gomer Pyle here.
Fucking right. And then I got to get with Ice, who's also extremely busy, to get all my permissions and stuff set up. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes. It's not just throw a camera on your computer and buy a microphone and get to going. There is some processes here.
Yeah.
So and
We're working on it.
We're working on it. I think that I would like to have it ready for the rally. I'd like my first one to be before.
You should always be, in today's day and ages, you should really be clear which rally you're talking about, because
the motorcycle rally. It's after June, so it's none of those rallies.
just saying, in today's day and age, you want to be clear when you're.
I'm gonna try to get Ice to come up here and have him sit right next to me, and we could do a twofer for the motorcycle rally. CQ wouldn't do it. He's like, I don't even know. I can't even run the clutch with my messed up hand or something. And I was like, all right, dude. It's like, do they have an automatic? I'm like, probably not.
So hey, you've already got one. I've
got one. It'll be me and Heath. It'll be Heath and I. It'll be Heath and I hanging out, and Spanky will come looking for snacks. Yeah, I should have a co-host. Yeah. So there'll be three. There'll be three of us. There'll be Spanky looking for snacks. CQ will pop in and make fun of me.
Yeah.
And then Heath will be here hanging out.
That's
and my co-host.
I will try to break everything from the other side of it. I was just gonna send you weird messages like, make sure you remember to hit Shift P, and you're like, wait, what?
Well, I don't think I want to hit Control Delete in the middle of this program. That sounds dumb.
Control F9. It'll fix everything. I promise.
Yeah. It works best right now. Like, I know you're in the middle of this, but just turn off your power strip. That'll help immensely.
Yeah. You gotta plug. Everybody tell you, unplug it, plug it back in. Everybody tells you. Everybody.
Yeah. Even when things are going good.
That's how it's like regular maintenance. You got to do it once in a while just to keep it
like
up.
checking the oil.
There you go.
Do you check the oil in your computer? Oh shit.
Yep.
It's low.
You got to check that. And then on top of Smoke Pick, don't forget we got the sports show coming too.
Sports bar.
The sports bar.
Is it sports bar? Is that with the name, right?
Sports bar. Yep. It's called the sports bar. So that's coming.
And that'll be on Sundays.
That'll be on Sundays. That's God's day. Sports day.
Yes.
So we got that.
How's that going to work for football season? Isn't he going to want to watch football?
Well, I mean, by 8:30 is the last game of the night. So if anything, you're missing one game of the.
Yeah, but that's the good game.
I mean,
most weeks debatable.
It's worth watching. Debatable.
Most weeks it's not a bad game.
Debatable. I mean, if he's got a setup like mine, I got a TV right here. I could be like,
yeah, but what are we're gonna go to the? Oh, we should. Maybe I might have to join. I want someone to teach me how to bet on sports.
Don't go down the rabbit hole.
No, okay. So there's casinos, right? Just like a couple miles from me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they just got sports betting, and I don't know how to do that.
Do you say I want to put money on this team to win?
Yeah, but no, I thought it was that easy. It is not that easy.
You're talking about them complicated, like the split bets and the parlays.
Yeah, it's like MGM grand bullshit, and they got all these fucking. Do you want
seven-way parlay and all that stuff?
I don't even know. They just made up words, and then I gave them $20, and then I lost, and I don't even know how.
You gave them 20, they went, all right, you lost. Like, wait, but
basically, yeah,
the game hasn't played.
And it was like that fucking. What was that movie where they're like, guess the number 7? Oh, wrong. Here's 20. That's what I felt like when I went to the thing, and it was like I don't even fucking understand. Like, how do you bet on baseball? I was like, I don't know. The Cubs are gonna lose. Oh shit, no, they won. Oh well, fuck, I lost $20.
No.
Yeah, but they have all these weird. I don't even
bet.
Do that.
You don't. That's not your thing, man. Just stick to what you got. The motorcycles and don't.
I can't bet. I can't win money on motorcycles.
Well, you're not gonna win money betting either. So you're better off keeping the money. Just saying.
Anyway, yeah. So I'll get with Coach and he can teach me how to bet.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. This has been a shit ton of fun. It is late as fuck. But this has been a fun episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Adam Baldwin was incredible. We're gonna have more guests coming for you soon. Lots more stuff coming. I've got some PCW challenge coins that are coming. Dog tag shaped challenge coins. They're gonna be
not dog awesome. Shit shaped. Not the dog shit ones, the dog tag.
Like
Yeah.
a little poop like that big.
Little pooty
Little
poo.
dog poop. Anyway, you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with you. Appreciate each and every one of you. Heath, Scott, all you guys that are still hanging out. You guys are the best. Thank you for hanging out. And we got tons more coming soon. If you're not on the Pop Culture Warrior Facebook page, there's gonna be more stuff coming. Got a lot more content.
Follow that. Don't follow me because I don't put much on Facebook.
We got a lot more stuff coming.
I should do that. I should really put more stuff on the radar page.
You gotta, man. It's
do.
part of the gig. Part of the gig.
I do, but I forget.
The last thing I was gonna say, I'm losing it. Fuck. I had one more thing to say, and you ruined it.
I ruined everything.
Ruined it, Radar.
Oh, weird. I ruined it.
Ruined. Yeah, we got a lot more stuff coming, man. I got 2 screeners for movies that are coming out soon. So I'm gonna be watching those here at home, and then
the link for the
podcast awards. Podcast awards. Good call.
Just put that on your is it on the PCW page?
I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post pictures and like
and then I'll share it to all my. We'll share it to everybody.
Yeah.
So I think Heath follows everything.
Link for the award, podcastawards.com. I'll put it in the chat real quick just to have it there, but podcastawards.com. And not for nothing, if you have multiple emails, you can register multiple times.
Yay!
Just saying. I mean, it's not based on your name, it's based on your email. So
yeah. Or you're female. Either one.
your email, your female, your she-mail, whatever.
Whatever.
So we got that coming. Lots of cool content. I got shore leave I'm going to be going to. I'm going to shoot some content there. Obviously, Adam's going to be there. We'll link up with him. Eddie's going to be there.
I send you this so you can take some pictures of people. They have one you plant on your forehead like this.
I have a GoPro. I do have
Well,
a
then
GoPro.
take it.
Well, obviously we're gonna shoot some footage and shoot some stuff, and we'll get some content.
This one does the 360 one.
I now have an editor, so I can actually. Before I had to shoot the film and record and edit it all and do all my stuff and blah blah blah. I have an editor now, so now I can just film shit and let him put together a good video. So
yeah, I'll send him my stuff.
No, get your own damn editor. All right, guys, we're gonna call it a night. Thank you so much. Say goodnight, Radar.
Night, Radar.
Shots, guys. We'll see you next week.
Doc! Oh, no! We're too late! We missed it! Oh, jeez, this is heavy. Ah, wait a minute. Doc, I got a time machine. I'm just gonna punch in the coordinates. Pop Culture Warrior, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WTF Nation Radio. Now crank this bad boy up to 88 miles per hour.